evening. And welcome to the final episode of our 4-part The Witcher RPG series right here on Hyper RPG. I am your GMly in the GMly vest, Emily Rose Jacobson. And thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's joined us on this journey so far as we prepare for the final episode of this chapter of The Witcher RPG. First of all, thank you so much to Jay Pistol for that amazing bardic recap. You are fantastical, and thank you for your bardic, wonderful skills and talents in recapping not only this RPG, but also the Rat Queens. You're wonderful. And thank you to Fabienne for costuming our wonderful players at the table. So many creative people have their hands in this creative Witcher pie, and that is so wonderful. Now, how can you have your hand also in this Witcher pie? I'm going to tell you. You can be a part of tonight's story by going to oneshot.straylogic.com, and you'll see a number of incentives and tips and ways you can be a part of tonight's show. We already have 2 things on the table that were tipped at the very end of last week's show that I will go over as we enter the show. We're a little closer. But let's go through that list really quick. So yeah, if you tip for $15 with hashtag coin, you can toss a coin to a Witcher in which you can give our characters some rerolls. They desperately needed some rerolls last week, and they're desperately going to need some rerolls this week.
Keep them flowing.
Will Marilka roll 3s nonstop this week again in a probability fiasco? We don't know.
Send more threes.
They told us the odds. It was like 10,000 to 1.
Yeah.
That's actually, buy a lottery ticket at that point. Like.
Yeah, that's pretty magical. So yes, you can toss a coin to your Witcher and help any of our players by granting them a reroll in the reroll pool at $15 with hashtag coin. Then at $25, we have hashtag alchemy. Alchemy is an art, and in The Witcher, and especially the Witcher games, there's a variety of potions that can help Witchers and characters alike. So what you can do is you can tip hashtag alchemy. You can tell me which character you'd like a potion to go towards, and I will roll a d8 to see which ability that character receives a bonus in. And it's up to the players to then know that bonus and see how can they utilize that bonus in their situation. Perhaps instead of talking themselves, perhaps instead of fighting their way out of a situation, if they have a +3 to, let's say, their charm, their charisma, in the empathy category, they can talk their way out of a situation rather than fight their way out. And that is, so you can grant our characters those potions with hashtag alchemy at $25. Then at $50, we have hashtag Tales of Old. We'll see a flashback from any of our characters. You tell me which character you'd like to see a flashback from, and we'll flash back in the past to see a moment of their life, perhaps a moment that is important to what's happening to them in the present. We'll find out. That is at hashtag Tales at $50. Then at $75, we have the ever-popular fan favorite, hashtag Monster. You get to throw a monster in the mix. I already have something big planned for this episode, but if you think that's not enough, more monsters. I mean, last week we had werewolves, we had ghouls, we had grave hags.
I want a griffin.
Lions and tigers and bears,
No, Geralt. No.
I've been rolling low on the monster dice, so yes, if you tip for a monster, I roll a d10, and I get to flip through. I find that number, that number in our monster manual at the back of the Witcher RPG book, and you fight that monster. So far, they've been pretty okay, but who knows? Perhaps the dice will be in my favor this week. And that is at $75 with hashtag monster. And then, of course, at $100, we have hashtag law, which is the law of surprise. You get to create a special bond or a debt between characters with this ability. Perhaps a character owes someone something for a thing that they did, or perhaps a character is pledging themselves to promise something to another character in payment for their service. So you get to decide which those are. Yes, Gary, you have the most laws at the table. Not only do you have a law of surprise with Geralt, and Geralt has told you if he ever asks you to watch over Ciri and Marilka again, you are not allowed to you are not allowed to let them leave your sight. You're not allowed to let them go into any kind of battle.
No more cool uncle for me.
So that's still on the table. And also you have a love surprise with Roach, in which Roach is now a very good companion of yours.
I think I'm just going to carry that forward indefinitely.
I think so, yes.
It was 2 weeks of oats, quality oats that I promised, but I think I'm just going to maintain. That's how we are now. That's the relationship that we have.
Yeah, it's no longer a debt. It's simply friendship. And so yes, we have some fun goals tonight. If we reach tonight's goal, this is what's been super cool. Not only will we be giving away a copy of the newest edition of the Witcher RPG from our Talsorian Games. Not only will we do that, but because we have reached our goal the past 3 weeks, if we reach our goal tonight, we will also give away the opportunity to name an NPC in the next Witcher RPG book adventure.
So cool.
This name has to be in world. It can't be something fun. It can't be something out of world. But so get your Witcher thinking hats on and think of some cool in-world character. Perhaps someone from Temeria, perhaps someone from Nilfgaard, perhaps an elf, perhaps an old Witcher themselves. You get to create this character, you get to name this character, and it will be an NPC in an upcoming Witcher RPG companion book, which is super duper cool. So yes, that is only if we hit tonight's goal. It's $1,000. You all are amazing. We're already getting there. Let me go ahead and say what we have on the table so far. So yes, last week, right as we ended the episode, there was a lot of surprise put on the table. I'm not naming it right now because it's going to be a surprise for whoever it is for. And then also there was a monster gifted at the end. So our party on their way to visit the Scoia'tael HQ will perhaps come upon a monster. Perhaps a monster will come upon them. We shall see what happens. So let us now dive into the world, the finale of this chapter of the Witcher RPG. We find our 5 heroes: Geralt of Rivia, Princess Cirilla, Jaskier the Bard, Yennefer the Mage, and Marilka the Rogue, wandering on their way through the southern woods as a elven talisman guides them to the secret headquarters of the Scoia'tael. Dusk creeps over the sky above them as the storm clouds that once hung and curtained the sky before have now simply softened, and the sunset hits these clouds, creating colors of sherbet, tangerine, soft pinks, and lilacs. A beautiful evening after such a tumultuous day. As our 5 travelers quickly make their way out of Darkney on the paths, starting to make their way into the woods, Jaskier, you feel yourself stop for a second. You feel almost this twinge in your stomach. As we cut to the capital of Temeria, where a young tailor sits in his workshop working on another fine vestment. This tailor is one that Jaskier is quite familiar with and has ordered and commissioned a few different outfits from before. As this tailor delicately takes golden thread, embroidering the most beautiful of details onto a vest, this tailor stops and feels this tinge in their stomach. I have a sense that someone has ripped one of my garments. Who has done this? Who has ripped my clothing that I can't. And you see the tailor put down the needle and thread. Can't for the rest of the day, I won't. Someone has soiled my work, and I simply cannot press on. Ha! As he flips over a table and storms off upstairs, his young apprentice just staring at his master's workstation. Yaskier, we cut back to you in the woods, and you feel this tinge in your stomach as you look down at the sleeve that you had just ripped while trying to aid the injured Scoia'tael agent. And you realize that you have just made a grave mistake, and a debt must be paid to your tailor.
I don't understand how he knows, but I can feel it. I can feel that, yes, I must make it up to him somehow. Perhaps commissioning a more magnificent doublet than any that has been seen so far in Temeria or elsewhere. And who knows, maybe I'll draw some inspiration from the local flora and fauna. There are some flowers in this part of the forest I've never seen before. I think there are birds, I hope those are birds, making those noises. Yeah.
It's birds.
I should take some notes, and when I do return to Temeria eventually, I'll tell a story, and maybe this tailor can put a story into my next jacket, or breeches, or pair of dungarees.
Or perhaps on your next adventure, this tailor will ask you to do something that you then must commit to.
Oh, that's fair.
We'll have to see.
All right.
As the five of you walk now through these forests, this elven talisman leading you, you have a moment. A moment to yourselves, if perhaps anyone would like to air any grievances. The tension in the group is somewhat high, knowing the stakes, the threat, and the turmoil between the Scoia'tael, Ulna, the town of Darkney, and this great tree is not an easy weight that any of you are carrying. Thrust into this position, thrust in to make a choice. You have a moment, just a moment of respite. If you'd like to say anything.
Is it always going to be like this? Traveling?
That's the Witcher life.
It feels like everywhere we go, it's people dying.
That's the world we live in.
I thought we were supposed to kill monsters.
In a sense, we are.
That little boy wasn't a monster. He was just a little boy.
I think he's better off, though, don't you?
Didn't look like it.
I think you might argue otherwise. But, I mean, we didn't bring this evil upon these people. We did all that we could to help, right?
So far.
There's also great beauty in this world, too. As much as it's dark and horrible, you must, in the darkest moments, find the beauty where you can.
Marilka, you mind if I have a word with you?
Yeah, okay.
Follow me.
Okay.
So, Geralt walks further up with Marilka. Let me ask you a question, and I need you to be honest. I need you to convince me why you want to be a Witcher. I'm not totally sure that you want the Witcher life for the right reasons.
Well, what's the right reason?
What do you think the right reason is, in your opinion?
Kill monsters.
Okay. That's all you want to do? Is kill monsters?
Well, there's no other girl witches. I want to be the first one. I want to be special. I want to be the one that changes things.
You do understand that the trials of becoming a Witcher is not easy.
I mean, I worked for a mage. Like, I can handle it. I know. I saw the sacrifices that had to be made for like spells and stuff, and I had to sacrifice sometimes when he wouldn't, and it hurt a lot, and I think I can handle it.
You do know that you may die doing this, in this transition.
I've already almost died kind of a lot. So, like... So then I die.
I'll tell you
Doesn't
what.
matter.
we get through all this, I'd like you to accompany Siri and I to Carmoran.
Really?
Don't make me regret this.
I won't. I promise. I'll be nice to Siri even if I have to, for a little bit. Well, okay. I'll be nicer to Siri.
What is with you and Siri, by the way?
She thinks that she deserves all the stuff that I want, just because she's a princess.
Has she said that?
She acts like it.
Well, I'll talk.
Girls just know.
They just know.
They just know.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to talk to Siri at some point. But for now, we deal with this situation. And I can see if I can convince the old man to put you in, if this is what you want. Actually, come to think of it, think hard on this, and I'll ask you this question again. If you want to be a Witcher, after we finish this situation, I'm going to ask you again.
Okay.
All right. I walk back.
Geralt, as you kind of walk back and now away from your one-on-one with Marilka and now start to lead the group again, you suddenly hear this almost the cicada-like noise. And you hear the sound of these like legs tapping and crawling against, scuttering against stone and roots of trees
Fuck.
in the forest floor.
Geralt?
I need you all to be on guard right now.
Oh, gods.
All right.
May I sense where it's coming from?
You can use your... Let me see.
I have an idea what it is, but I don't want to jump to conclusions.
Geralt, I need you to roll me. I will say yes. Your perception, your human perception, no, apologies. I need you to roll me your reflex, just straight reflex.
How many rerolls do you have?
You currently have 9 rerolls.
I want to use one of them.
One of them, wonderful.
Okay. It's a 20.
Just straight reflex is a 20.
12 plus 8, yes.
Well, fantastic. Geralt, you sense that coming from your right, coming from your right, you hear like the scuttering, and you're able to. Thank you so much for tipping for another monster.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna go ahead and multiply how many I had for this encounter.
Oh, good.
So yes, this will be very, very good.
Is good the word?
Oh, no,
very
it's
good.
not. If I know what this is,
Geralt, you suddenly hear the scutterings. These claw-like scutterings now seem to increase as almost a small army of these creatures is now headed your way. Just from their insectoid-like chirp alone, and you hear the sounds of their claws on the ground, you know that a pack of. Actually, I know what, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to make one of these a queen.
Oh, God, no. I knew it.
So to get with the monster. You hear five Edredja headed your way, and you as you kind of alert your party, you suddenly start to see them. They've been cloaked underneath the leaves and kind of the brush around you, but you see almost like these huge I would say like goat and pig-sized insectoid creatures that just have these huge mandibles just sticking out and clicking and clattering as they have these large poison-esque scorpion tails. And then behind them, about the size of a cow or a bull, is the Edredja Queen commanding her soldiers in front of you. You see 4 Edredja soldiers and 1 Edredja Queen. As you start to hear their clicking and ticking starting to increase in a threatening manner. warning you not to come any closer to their nest.
Oh, they're not attacking us. They just
Oh, no, they're definitely coming
okay.
towards you. You're invading their
okay.
area. They're just kind of giving you a warning noise that they're going to attack.
I mean, could we just leave the area?
I would love
Yeah,
that.
that's
Is
what
there
I'm wondering.
another way around?
Is it the only path we got to? We have to go through them?
You have to go through them.
Okay.
You see that your talisman, you hold your talisman out. Who's
Yeah.
holding the
The good
talisman
people paid for
last?
it.
I think I
Yennefer.
was.
Yennefer, you almost shake the talisman, hoping that it would give you a different direction, but no, this elven glow seems to illuminate and point you in the direction past the Adreja.
We gotta go forward.
The
Yennefer,
Endreja.
I need you to
Yes.
concoct whatever fire spells you have.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you. I'm just kind of like drawing energy towards myself to get ready for
Everyone,
this.
please roll me your initiative. That is a 1d10 plus your reflex.
They're
17.
14.
8.
Also, we have not rested in a very long
13.
Oh,
time.
no, I know.
Did we not rest?
No.
no.
You got healed a little bit, but Robbie didn't get to rest.
I'm a 13.
Same.
All right.
I'm 8, so I'm last.
Boy, and I get to attack first.
Who else was a 13? So the two of you?
Yeah.
And then Yennefer, you're an 8.
I don't.
I rolled a 1 right off the bat. You know?
I don't think that I
Get
have
out of the way
any
now.
vigor left.
Oh, no.
Do I have any vigor as well? Is it restored at all?
Nope.
No.
Oh my god.
Nope.
No.
Emily
The
wants to
episode
kill
where
us.
What is it
everyone
at now,
dies.
though?
I don't think that's true. Let me see. There's so many enemies I have to write down.
Oh no.
All right, let's get this started. Siri, you're going first.
Oh, unfortunately that I am. All right. I'm going to draw my steel sword and layout-wise, is it just one of the small ones that's going to be closest to me?
I would say yes. The queen is taken towards the back. Her 4
Perfect.
soldiers, almost like an ant kind of hive mindset, or to a bee. Her 4 soldiers are instead in front of her.
All right. I'm going to leap towards one of the soldiers and try and slash through it with my steel sword.
Roll me 1d10 plus your swordsmanship. If you don't have it, it's just
That is
straight
9.
reflex.
All right. That is an 18 to hit.
An 18 is successful, so please roll me your damage. In addition to that, Siri, you are also getting a potion. Thank you for the alchemy.
Thank you. I think I might be dying otherwise.
Oh no.
All right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. That is 10 points of damage.
Wonderful. And you were attacking the one closest to you.
Yes, the one closest to me. I'm going to dash
Wonderful.
towards and go for the throat.
As you go, Siri, you take out your sword, and almost without blinking, like there's no hesitation anymore. You just charge at this Endrega and just pierce it right in the neck. As you pull it out, you see this disgusting green poison-like blood seeping out of the neck of this nice clean slice you just gave this creature. As you hear it whine and hiss back in pain as it kind of recoils a little on its insectoid feet and hisses at you. The other 3 kind of readying a stance and preparing themselves.
Can I use any kind of movement to get the hell away from these things?
Make sure that thing doesn't bite you.
Right. Of course not. It's fine.
Siri, you did, though, get a +3 to your will. So any skills pertaining to your will, including spellcasting, ritual crafting, courage, intimidation, you have a +3 to that next roll.
Thank you.
Next up is Geralt.
All right. I'm going to use my last vigor to cast Igni
All right.
on the. Which one is closest one? What's the vicinity of all the other ones?
They're kind of in this, almost in this kind of triangle formation. So there's these 2 front 2,
Okay.
and then kind of behind them are 2 that are closer to each other. And then at the tip of that pyramid is the queen.
Okay, so we're just gonna.
So Siri just hit the one on your right.
Okay.
So there's the one on your left that's kind of closest to you as well.
All right. I'll just use Igni to push the closest one to me back towards the other one and try to make that one catch fire to the other one, if that's possible.
So you want to use
Igni, the spell Igni, the fire spell, to cast it on the closest one, and hopefully, I'm hoping it will push it back to get the other one. That's
got to
next
be
to it.
pretty strong Igni.
Yeah, and I only have 1 vigor left.
Oh my god.
Would you like to push yourself?
Yes, I'm going to have to push myself.
Okay.
I'm going to push it 2 extra.
Let's
Wait, what happens if I do 2? Was it
You will take 5
5.
points of damage for every vigor point that you do not have that you wish to use.
I'll do
Because
1.
magic and chaos comes at a
'cause I
price.
just noticed my health is not as max. I'll use 1, so go
Wonderful.
down
So
to
you will
23.
take 5 points of damage. Now roll me
Oh my god.
with your 2 vigor. Roll me 1d10 plus your spell casting.
We did heal up a little bit at the end of.
You healed up,
Last
yes.
one.
If
Little
you,
baby
if you
bit.
had a salve, yeah, we rolled and you healed
Oh,
up a little
yeah.
bit.
Okay, right.
It's exploding. Plus spell casting.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's exploding. So 13 plus 7, so 20.
With a 20, also roll me your 2d6 for the damage of this Igni, because that definitely hits.
Okay. It's a 6.
With a 6, I will say this. Which one were you aiming at again? Were you aiming at the one that Siri has just cut? Or
Yes. Well, I'm assuming that's the closest one to me. Is it?
Yes, it is. There's 2 close to you. There's
Okay.
one on your right, one on your left.
Okay. I was gonna, if either one, I was gonna push it to back with the fire, and hopefully he'll catch the other one on fire.
Why not hit the one? hit the one that's already down.
Yeah.
Geralt, you focus yourself and summoning the last bit of your magic, your chaos ability, and even pushing yourself somewhat further. You start to feel this blood start to come out of your nose as you feel every single magical essence of your mutated Witcher body pushing out this Igni sign as you push your hand forward, cast the sign, and suddenly the endraga that Ciri has just chopped now suddenly combusts and it lights on fire. And yes, because you cast this Igni so well, it does in fact push it back, causing the endraga to stumble and fall into the one flanking it from behind and also catching it on fire. As the frontmost endraga starts to stumble and fall due to not only its gaping neck wound, but now that it is suddenly roasting in front of you, the other one that is now lit starts to quickly try to stomp it out and starts to flee as the queen, noticing that one of her soldiers is on fire, takes a few precautionary steps back.
It's afraid.
That's good.
Geralt, be careful, don't push yourself too hard.
We have to extinguish these out of here.
What if we focus on that queen? What
That's
if we
my
try
plan.
to kill that queen?
Yep.
I feel like once she's dead, the rest of them will scatter.
You working on it?
I mean, but she could be more difficult to kill. Maybe if we kill another one of the small ones, she'll be like, well, I've had enough, and then just go.
Yeah.
That's true as well.
I mean, one of those is obviously her favorite. I have to say we kill that one.
She might get more
It's
pissed off,
It's
but
like us.
Oh, you don't even know.
Next, I'm just going to draw a little diagram.
okay.
So this is their current formation. You just TKO'd this one with some fire and a nice chop, but you left this one open. So, Geralt, actually, yes, Geralt, you being the closest in the front, pushing yourself out there, casting a very close Igni sign. This endraga is now going to come at you. What would you like to do? Would you like to dodge?
Yes.
Wonderful. Roll me 1d10 plus your dodge.
I'm gonna use a reroll for sure.
All right.
Highly recommend that reroll. Thank you for those.
Okay, good. You said what was it? Reflex? Or?
Reflex, yes.
9 plus 12, so is that 21? No, 20. I can't count.
9 plus 12 is
22.
21.
21. Is it?
Yeah,
It
Yes.
is.
Okay, 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
all day.
With that, Geralt, you're able to quickly see where this endraga is charging at you and kind of quickly almost making an aggressive move, not really understanding its environment and just kind of lurching forward trying to hit you. And you are able to narrowly, quickly do a sidestep, a really cool sidestep and sweep out of the way of this endraga as it charges into nothing, kind of stumbles onto the forest floor, its little insectoid legs flittering in the air, trying to get itself back up onto its feet.
Damn beast.
Yaskir, it's now your turn. What would you like to do?
I mean, I don't really see any reason. I feel like you all have this very well in hand, and I should hang back in a defensive posture, just in case. I mean, I have many other resources which are not spent yet, which I would like to conserve for the future, like my great courage and cunning. So yes, I will assume a defensive position and not advance any closer.
Okay.
Yaskir, you move kind of towards the back of the party, and you do have
In a cool way,
In a
though.
cool way, you kind of, as Geralt, almost in time, as Geralt does his kind of dodge out of the way, you see what he's about to do, and you kind of time your maneuver to the back in the same way. So it
Oh,
almost
do we end up back to back, looking
Yes.
extra
Yeah.
cool?
You end up back to back for a moment as you almost kind of mimic his spin, and you kind of spin yourself towards the back.
We've got this.
With
We've
your
got this.
with your pointyard at hand.
Are you gonna do something?
I'm doing something. I'm covering your back.
You're facing the other way, away from them.
Well, you never know. There might be more in the brush. They might appear like these ones. I'm protecting us from an ambush.
I don't sense any of them out there. What do you?
You're being awfully critical. Let's talk about this afterwards.
All right. Well.
Marilka, it is now your turn.
Shoot the queen in the eye.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Roll me 1d10 plus your archery.
Ooh, I'm gonna re-roll that. Do we still have enough?
Yes.
how many we
you
have.
have 6 remaining.
Okay, come on, buddy. Do I still have to subtract 1 for archery?
Yes, because you're not so fully healed.
So that's a 14 for the queen. I'm gonna roll it one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you got this.
Maybe? Okay, different one.
Ooh.
So that's a 10 plus a 4, so 14 plus another 9, so 23, right? No. Yes.
Yep. Trust your instincts.
That's impressive because the queen was about to
They say
dodge
about
with
math.
an 18.
Oh, that was
I needed
awesome.
that tan.
So
Nice.
yes, that will hit. Now roll me your archery damage.
8 plus 3, 11.
With an 11, Marilka, yes, still kind of gritting through that pain. Your arm is splinted, so instead of pain, it's much more sore now and just a little bit more rough. As you pull back your bow, tighten your bowstring, take that one deep breath in, hold, look at that Endraga queen straight in the eyes,
Carol, watch! Watch!
and
Just
you
hit it.
release. And as you release that arrow, once again, almost to perfection, it goes flying and hits its mark and just squishes right through the Endraga Queen's one of her many eyes, one of her 6 eyes that sits on the front of her face. As this arrow pushes through, this green oozing blood just starts to come out of this Endraga Queen as this monstrous insectoid lets out a this high-pitched, rattling, crickety screech that kind of chases off the birds in the canopy around you as, for an instant, her 3 remaining soldiers almost pause and start to move slowly towards the back and start to flank their queen.
Good job, Maroka.
Did you see that? Good job.
I always go for the
Brilliant
eyes.
I didn't
It
see it. Was it terribly
It's-
good?
If it ain't broke.
Marilka, what was your damage again?
11.
11. Thank you for that. Next is another Endraga. Actually, that was the one you killed. Congratulations. Next is another Endraga.
How tactical of us.
Endragas rolled so much better.
This is the
so
one that's
many
on
of us.
fire.
Oh, jeez.
So the current flaming Endraga is now starting to smolder a bit. Sees you, Siri, sees that you are the closest target in this vicinity, and this now flaming Endraga is going to, with all of its mighty Endraga life force, in the passionate pursuit of its queen, charge at you. What would you like to do?
I would very much like to dodge.
All right. Roll me 1d10 plus your dodge.
Oh boy.
That's my dodge.
Yeah.
That is a 14. Should I reroll?
Don't ask.
I'm gonna reroll that.
Oh,
All
man.
right, that is an 18 to dodge.
With an 18,
Good job.
this Endraga, now that it is slightly on fire, the fire, while it has made it more dangerous, seems to have slowed its body momentum a little bit as this creature lunges forward in pain. Siri, noticing the way Geralt quickly dodged out of the way, you too are able to kind of do this kind of spin dodge out of the way, causing the Endraga to use its momentum against itself and send it flying towards the center of your group, now closer to its brethren. For an instant, the edge of your cape gets singed from this flaming Endraga, but not too badly. It's quickly out as you quickly spin out and snuff the flames.
It's pretty good footwork.
Trying to learn from you.
Yennefer, it is now your turn. There are two Endraga that are kind of close to you. One has gotten back up onto its insectoid little feet. The other one is the flaming one, kind of now joining its brethren. And it's closest to, yes, you, Marilka, and Yaskir, with one more Endraga now guarding the queen a little further away.
Can I imbue my dagger with fire energy and throw it at the queen?
Go big, go home.
That's a tricky one, because I feel like in order to keep a dagger on fire, you need some kind of oil or some kind of... Because you could just make a dagger really hot and throw it, but keeping it on fire, that is the rub.
I guess I will...
How much vigor do you have left?
I think I have 3.
I'm going to say if you really want to catch a dagger on fire and throw it, you're going to have to use all 3 points of that vigor.
Okay, I think I'll just use 1 to aim fire at the queen's face
All right.
instead.
In the face.
Roll me a d10 plus your spellcasting, or your willpower.
All right.
Your spellcasting, my apologies.
Fire in the face. Classic
Spellcasting. That is a 10, so it explodes. And a 2, so 12 plus 9 is 21.
That does hit.
Yes. Okay. All right. So,
Roll me a d6 for your damage.
okay. It's 5.
With a 5, yes, Yennefer, you focus your energy and you're able to send this fiery bolt immediately towards this Endraga queen. As you send it, are you aiming it right at its face?
Right at its face.
Yennefer, do you say anything to Marilka? Do you look at her?
I tell her that was such a good idea. Let's aim for this queen, and I just go right for the face.
You send a fiery bolt right towards this Endraga's face, now blinding the left-hand side of this creature. As you send this hot shot of flame, you see it crest against this Endraga queen's face, lighting it up, starting to burn this crispy insectoid shell casing around this Endraga queen's face. As once again, this queen releases this horrible, high-pitched, hissing, clickety, cicada-like cry. As it rears back, you see all of its like these huge mandibles and these feet now in the air, almost like charging at you, but then it comes right down as the Endraga starts to take much more of a defensive position. Yennefer, because you did that third Endraga that was protecting its queen is now going to charge at you.
Oh, no.
Good gods.
Making
Could I
friends.
dodge?
Yes, you can try.
I would like to dodge, or attempt to.
All
So,
right.
What was it again? To dodge? Was it Dex?
A D10 plus your dodge skill. If you don't have a
You have a
dodge
dodge
skill,
Oh yeah. So
it
D10
is
plus
just your
dodge.
straight dexterity.
9 plus 7, 16.
Reroll.
Would you like to take a reroll?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You have 4 rerolls remaining after this.
Thank you for the rerolls. Dodge, escape 7 plus. That's a 9. Let's use another reroll. Okay.
This is your last one.
Oh, we need
Come on,
reroll.
come on.
Oh, this is her
No,
last
it's my
one.
last
There's only,
one. Okay.
there's only
But
3
still, we
left.
don't have many.
Still need reroll.
Damn, it's a 12 now.
Yennefer, you try to protect yourself and aid in the stance, trying to get out of the way, but almost as soon as you set off this fiery bolt, this Endraga soldier knew exactly what you were doing and who you were aiming towards. So unbeknownst to you, this Endraga was charging at you from the moment the flame left your fingertips, and suddenly you feel these claws, almost these claws and these mandibles, dig into your legs and push you down onto the ground as this Endraga starts to rip at your legs.
Yennefer!
Get this creature off me!
As you feel these insectoid-like claws and just these huge pincers dig into your flesh for 7 points of damage.
Oh. I actually don't know what my health was last time, but I'll put a -7. Was it 25? Math. Ouch.
Next up is the Endraga Queen.
Oh gosh.
The Endraga Queen, now seeing her soldiers amidst battle, just slowly starts to move forward, closer to where Geralt and Ciri stand.
Geralt, watch out, Ciri!
And then the Queen takes a defensive position and just waits.
Oh
See.
no.
What is it doing?
No, it's copying me, obviously.
Well, stop giving it good ideas.
Ciri, it is now your turn.
Defending itself.
All right. So I'm going to use 2 points of vigor, which I don't have.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm going to step forwards towards it. You said the queen is decently close to us, right?
Yes.
Could I potentially
So this
hit
is
multiple
where
of them with this?
This is you and Geralt.
Mm-hmm.
This is you and Geralt. This is Queen. This is Yennefer, Marilka, and Jaskier.
in between
And
us.
here are the 3 Endragas that have just tried to charge. One of them hit you, the other 2 you dodged out of the way of.
All right. I'm going straight for the queen. And I'm going to look around to everyone and put my hands over my ears.
Yep.
And I'm going to look at Geralt and say, please don't be mad. And then I am going to scream in her direction for 2 points of vigor.
So you do not have any more vigor points, right?
Correct. I am
So
taking
you were 10 points of damage.
I was
All right.
at full.
Roll me a d10 plus your spell casting.
Yes. I would like to.
What did you get?
I got a 4, which
All
would
right.
make it 8, 9, 10, 11.
Don't forget, you also have a +3. To
That
your
is
yeah. Oh,
with
with
my
it.
+3.
Wonderful.
My spell casting is very low.
She's
Wonderful. So we're
learning.
using a reroll.
My spell casting is only 4.
Oh god.
Oh, that explodes.
Woo!
All right, that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 to hit.
That will hit. Now roll me 2d6 for your damage.
All right, it's 5.
Are you going up to touch the queen, or are you just?
I'm not touching her, but I am doing everything I can to try and harness the power forward and directionally, straight into like her center, and to see if I can channel it away from our party and directly towards her.
Ciri, it has been an interesting day for your powers. Not only did you hurt everyone earlier in the square of Darkney, when the great tree seemed to reverberate your abilities and send them off hurting your comrades. That tinge of sorrow, of anxiety, of underestimating yourself hits you for a second, but then something else comes over you, almost a sense of your grandmother. How she trained you never to back down, never to look back, and to keep pushing forward. And with that, you take a step and you push this magical energy out of you forward you let out this huge scream, and almost, yes, it is now directioned, and it is now you force this cone of this elven ancient magic not understood by anyone else into this Queen Endraga as the 4 of you behind Ciri's screen hear this crack of the rib cage of this Endraga Queen as you hear it split inside the Endraga Queen from Ciri's powerful blast. What was your 2d6? Oh, you just said 6.
It was 5 points of damage.
5. Once again, this Endraga Queen doesn't necessarily let out a screech as it did before. You just hear it start to You start to hear these sharp intakes of breath from this monstrous queen as it now starts to walk towards you, Ciri. Step by step. Geralt, it is now your turn.
I want to take out my silver sword and charge at the queen and try to stab at one of its openings. Because I know it has a big shell, or was it a shell, or is it a
Carapace?
or is it a?
It's kind of it has like a shell on its back, but it definitely has a fleshy underbelly.
I want to go for its fleshy underbelly, like just go like a undercut.
Right under there. All
Yeah.
right. Can you please roll me 1 d10 plus your swordsmanship?
Okay. Oh, I thought that was a 1. Oh god. 17.
Ooh.
Damn it! I'm gonna reroll then.
You're going to reroll?
Yeah.
All right. This Endraga queen has taken a defensive position,
Yes.
so she's a little bit harder to hit.
No. Last what? How many rerolls do we have?
We have 8 remaining,
Oh.
so you have 1 more you can
Okay.
use.
Thank you for the rerolls.
No, it's 16. So it won't.
With that, Geralt, you try to charge. As you charge towards this Endraga, you see that for a second, it's playing injured. As it charges towards you, or no, as you charge towards it, it looks like it's in a resting protective state. And suddenly it catches you off guard, and before you can attack it, it takes a large claw mandible and pierces directly into your shoulder flesh. It just digs into you for 13 points of damage. As you feel this queen's just like this huge saber-sized insectoid claw just dig into your witcher flesh, into your arm, pushing through muscle and pushing through sinew. As it pulls it out quickly and hides back once again, waiting to make its another move.
Well, this isn't good.
Geralt.
All right, it is the Endraga that charged at originally Geralt's turn. This Endraga is now sitting in the middle, and it sees Marilka. Now this Endraga, one of the Endraga kind of sitting between the side and this side of the battle, is going to charge at you, Marilka.
Dodge, I guess.
All right. Roll me a d10 plus your reflex or your dodge if you have it.
Ooh, that's a 1. I would like to re-roll that, please.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the rerolls.
Okay, that's better.
Improved.
16.
16. You were able to dodge, yes. As you dodge out of the way, this foolish Endraga soldier goes charging at you and instead hits a stump of a tree that you were standing very close to. And as you stepped out of the way, this Endraga charges into this tree, and you hear this plunk as it hits and smacks into this tree and takes some damage. Next in the order is Yaskir.
You said there was one attacking Yennefer, yes?
Yes.
There was one
All right.
tearing away at my legs right
There
now.
was one that had just kind of sunk its little
Well, I'm
claws into
gonna
its leg.
Get in there and give it what for?
Wonderful. Roll
Yaskir.
me your swordsmanship. And if you do not have it, it is your reflex.
I do not have it. It's a reflex of 4 plus my 7. That is an 11.
Your reflex is so bad.
I don't like that smile. I
Is
don't
that
like
is
that
not
smile.
true? All right, I need more heroism, please. Let's try it. Let's use a reroll.
Ooh.
Oh, that's worse. All right, that's a 2. I'm gonna do one more reroll. For valor.
Oh no.
All right, so let's move on.
All right. Yaskir, you come charging at this the Endraga that has just attacked Yennefer with your pointer, ready to hit it, fend it off of her, and instead you just trip and fall and just go flat on your face.
No. Yaskir.
And this
Thank you.
and this Endraga
A helping
this
kind of.
Endraga just sticks its claw right into your right hand and just pierces. You feel like this piercing of this claw go through.
That's
the-
my
your
loot hand. Well, one of them.
Distracting is one way, I guess, to help.
As you take 5 points of damage.
No, Yaskier.
Ow.
Oh no.
Next is the flaming Endraga, and this little Endraga it starts to charge towards you, Yaskier, but you see it's slowly moving. It's just so slowly moving. It's so slowly moving. It's starting to you start to smell this burning insectoid crispiness in the air. As it just this charred body of this Endraga is just so close to you. Would you want to try and get out of the way? All right.
Yes.
Roll me a 1d10 plus your dodge.
That is a 7.
With a 7, this Endraga on its last limbs.
All right, no, sorry. With my dodge is an 11. It's 4 plus my dodge is a 7. It's an 11.
Oh,
Even
11,
better. This Endraga on its last limbs just kind of walks towards you. And you're almost able to just you just pull your hand out of the way as it seems to just kind of collapse on the ground and just die
Yeah, that's what I
from
thought.
being on fire.
Burn damage.
Take that, flaming
You know.
Endraga.
From being on fire.
Next is Yennefer.
I guess.
Yennefer, you now see that this Endraga that has not only attacked you, has also attacked Yaskier and is readying. It's kind of you hear it its tail starting to almost kind of click up and prepare for a strike.
I pull out my dagger and just. Is it close? Is it still
It's
on
very
me?
close to you.
I want to stab it with my dagger.
Roll me your swordsmanship.
Okay.
If you don't have that, it's just straight reflex.
Reflex. So 7 plus d10
Mm-hmm.
is. That is a 13. Let's reroll that. Okay. Ooh. Oh my God. It is now a 10. One more reroll. Come
You
on.
have 2 rerolls remaining after this.
Better not fail me.
It's a 3.
I should have used my magic. All right. Well, I guess that's it. That's all I had, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I had a 10. Tried to just stab this thing, just not thinking.
Yennefer, you try to stab this Endraga, but it almost is now kind of seeing your desperate moments and is interpreting them just a little before you. As this Endraga quickly scuttles backwards in a defensive position, as you feel your hand kind of laggardly come over and just stab into the ground, into the wet earth beneath you. All right, we've got another Endraga.
Oh no.
Can you guys stay alive for 2 seconds? What's
I
happening?
don't know.
I'm losing a lot of blood.
Man,
I'm doing all right.
I'm not.
Okay.
We're dying.
Marilka, this Endraga is now charging towards you, this kind of last remaining one. Now seeing that its brethren it seems to be doing okay with Yaskier and Yennefer, Yaskier and Yennefer over here. This other Endraga is now going to charge towards you.
Can I counterattack instead of dodge?
Yes, you can try.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna try and catch it with my bow before it comes to get me. So that is a 18.
That is definitely going to hit because this little sucker rolled a natural 1.
Oh no!
Yes.
As it leaps towards me, I just want to be like, ah,
As it leaps towards you, yes, roll me your bow damage. As this Endraga leaps in the air towards you, almost, prancing, bouncing off of its hind legs, kind of getting a leaping start, aiming towards your thigh and kind of your hip, about to sink in its claws there. Harnessing your strength, just gritting through the pain, the soreness of your injured arm, you're able to, quickly. You think you feel something pull. You think you feel one of your muscles almost overextrain itself by how fast you pull back your bow, and you just release, and you pierce through this Endraga and send it. This arrow just soars it into the ground and has it trapped. As you see, its little legs kind of skitter and clutter around as it slowly starts to slow down and succumb to death.
Good job, Maroka.
Wow. Marilka, thank you.
You're welcome. Oh God. Okay. Nobody die.
Next is the Endraga Queen.
Oh, fuck.
The Endraga Queen is going to come towards you, Geralt.
Fuck.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to dodge.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll me your dodge.
That is a 17. Oh my God! Really? I'm going to have to re-roll this.
I'm going to give everyone a gift really quick from the chat. The chat has gifted you each a potion. We're going to give these around really quick. Maybe that will help you, Geralt. So let me roll through and give each of you a potion really quick. Rilka,
Thank you.
you will get a +3 to your crafting. So that is disguise, first aid, forgery, trap crafting, or picking a lock.
Okay.
Yennefer, you are getting a +3 to your will.
That's good.
Yaskier, you're getting a +3 to your empathy, so charisma, persuasion, performance, seduction.
I don't need any help in that regard.
Seduce the queen.
How fortunate for you, Geralt. You get a
What?
+3 to your dexterity.
Oh yeah.
A little late.
And Ciri,
Yes.
you get a +3 to your empathy.
All right.
So that is all things charismatic, gambling, human perception, leadership, and seduction.
I'm gonna seduce the queen.
This is all Yaskier stuff. That category we call Yaskier
That's all me.
stuff.
Would you like to use that +3 on this roll?
Yes.
No question.
Perfect timing.
Thank you.
Geralt, for a second, it looks like you're not going to dodge this queen's attack as she lunges out at you with her giant teeth in this almost plant-like teeth situation.
No.
But pulling yourself together, kind of gritting through the pain of your arm, you're able to roll backwards and roll out of the way right as her head goes slamming into the ground, about to just like take your face in her mouth. So you see, Geralt, you quickly dodge on the ground, but you see that as you tumble, you see that your shoulder is leaving a bloody trail in the leaves behind you.
I'll be fine.
And as this queen takes a step forward and another step forward and another step forward, passing you and now approaching Ciri, you suddenly hear these fury of arrows just coming flying from behind this queen, flying from on top of the trees, as you see one after one, an arrow, piercing the Endraga queen, sticking it to the ground. One goes through its rightmost leg, pinning it to the ground. The other one goes through its back leg, pinning it to the ground, as you see this fury of arrows just start to turn this Endraga queen into what almost looks like a porcupine from how many arrows are piercing this thing, as the leaves in the forest brush underneath this queen start to turn a deep, dark, monstrous green as this queen's blood oozes out of her.
That's not you, Marilka. That's not you. That's too many arrows. That's not you.
No, not me.
Who is it?
The final
Scoia'tael.
Endraga charging towards you, Yaskier and Yennefer, starts to huddle back and run back towards its queen, screeching in terror and pain, trying to protect what it loves most. As you see this figure step out of the woods, and with the swing of an axe, clearly chops the final Endraga in half, as the front half of it, its facial half, kind of slides over next to you, Geralt, and you just see this Endraga head decapitated, staring at you as the light in its eyes, monstrous eyes, start to kind of go out, and this green blood just oozes next to you, and you just have this reeking smell of monster blood.
Who's out there?
Well, it seems you did need my help after all, didn't you?
Who are you again?
Geralt of Rivia.
I think it's Rashon.
I am Rashon,
Oh, it's you.
leader of the Scoia'tael here in this area of Temeria. And I see you are very bad at remembering names.
Well, I've kind of been fucked up right now.
Mm.
Just saying. My mind is not where it's supposed to be. You have anything to aid us?
As you ask her that, she simply just walks past you and towards Yennefer and stands in front of Yennefer, leaning on her axe. Where is the talisman?
It's right here. Thank you for your aid. I just hand it.
She tucks it back into her armor. Well, it's a good thing we found you, wasn't it? You would have been killed by these endragas.
We came here to look for you.
That you did. You took one of my agents gave this to you, or did you take it off of one of my fighters?
Oh, no, it was freely given.
Freely given.
So we freely give it back.
Then there is much to talk about. You are clearly here for a reason.
Yes.
Come with me. As you see her motion to these 5 Scoia'tael descending from the trees behind her, she speaks in Elven to them and kind of whistles and throws her fingers as these 5 Scoia'tael agents each assist you, especially those of you that need more assisting than others. 2 Scoia'tael agents come over and help you up, Geralt, and to start to walk you towards where Rashon is leading, as 3 more Scoia'tael agents assist, yes, Marilka, Yennefer, and Jaskier. There's one that looks at you, Ciri, for a moment. Your eyes match for a moment. She simply passes and assists Geralt, as the 5 of you are led to a large cave in these forests. It looks like a simple cave from the outside, and the rock, the inside of the cave looks very shallow, as if there's nothing really in there, more of an inlet than anything. You see Rashon walk forward as she puts the talisman into a section of the wall. You notice for the first time there is a beautiful tree carving on the inside of this cave wall. A few of these holes are missing, but she puts this leaf-like talisman into a leaf-shaped hole. And suddenly, the rocks begin to open like doors, and you're led into the ancient elven ruins where Rashon and her Scoia'tael are currently camping out. As you descend into this elven camp, you find yourself going down these broken stone staircases as you find yourselves in this huge underground stone hall. These large, beautifully carved ancient elven statues and hooded cloaks holding pillars of fire stand and guard the walls at either side. And as you look closer, they too are crumbling with time, as the age of man has started to outcast the age of magic. As you descend further into these ruins, you find yourselves now in a large camp-like area. A number of tents and campfires, tables, and the like have been set up. Clearly an army amassing within the temple ruins so close to Darkney. You see as Rashon whistles once again and throws her fingers as 2 elven mages come over and start to attend to Geralt. And 1 mage comes over and starts to look into Yennefer's wounds as well as Jaskier's hand. Here. My mages and my herbalists will help you.
Thank you.
Can I ask, do you have anything that would help us to restore our magical abilities? We've depleted so much, and I'm afraid of being helpless.
Everything comes at a cost. Come, we have much to discuss first before I can give you anything else. I have given you sanctuary and shelter, as well as health and aid. Now is when negotiations must begin.
I understand.
As
Seems
Rashon speaks once again in Elven to her mages as they nod, she walks off. The 2 elves start to address your wounds. Geralt, Jaskier, and Yennefer, you are allowed to roll 1d6 plus your recovery.
Am I healing at all?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
That's right.
Oh,
What was
okay.
it? We're rolling 1d6
It's plus your recovery.
plus your recovery.
That's a 12.
All right.
Should I do that too?
Did you take any damage from the previous? I will say yes. These two mages start to address and heal all of you.
Thanks, not like leaving us out.
Everyone can roll 1d6 plus their recovery.
All
Could
right.
I re-roll
More
that?
better.
We
No,
back.
you cannot.
We back.
Okay. Now I can do things.
You feel as those of you with worser wounds, you feel these mages kind of concentrate their energy. They're not powerful mages to say the least, but with the little magic ability, the little chaos harnessing abilities that they have, they're able to focus it and heal the wounds on your body. Geralt, you feel the deep gash of your shoulder start to close up slowly as you're then bandaged and dressed. Same with you, Yennefer and Yasker. You feel the gaping wounds on your legs and this nasty, nasty gash on through your hand start to come back together as muscle and skin starts to reform, leaving only but a small scar, noticeable to you but unnoticeable to anyone else.
Oh, now I look much more dangerous.
As you all get wrapped and taken care of, Marilka, yes, you have your arm is now readdressed and resplinted, and you feel the healing almost happening faster as your bones are resetting back into place a little bit better.
Thanks.
Is everyone all right?
And Ciri, just an elven mage comes over to you and just hands you a cup of tea.
Thank you.
You might as well.
All right, I'm gonna drink it.
As you drink the tea, you feel, yes, this power and this exertion that you had spent earlier, this energy of yours almost left you feeling weak, woozy, lightheaded. You now feel restored, almost as if your normal magical essence is being returned to you.
Thank you so much.
As the two mages start to kind of, after you've been dressed, and not soon after you've been dressed and patched up, you feel them pushing you towards this large, grandiose teal tent with these beautiful elven paint markings on it as you're led into Rashon's quarters. As one of the mages holds the door open to you, or holds the tent flap open to you, you enter in and you see where battle preparations are being held. There is a large table with a sketched out drawing of Darkney. As you see these tiny little tokens, bottles, corks, and just an eclectic use of trash have been devised into areas of the town, the gates, the tree, Ulna's alder house, and more. You have come. You have a token. I greet you here with peace and open arms. Are you willing to help the Scoia'tael?
First off, depends on what this whole business with this tree is about. Why do you want it?
It is ours. It is elven in nature. It is one of the great old beings of this world that still lives. And because it is ours, we have come back to claim it. We know that a war is coming. And humans are selfish. Humans have taken the great tree from us. And so we are simply taking it back.
You're not wrong, but is there not any way to do this without bloodshed?
We have tried. We told Ulna she and her people could leave peacefully. They could evacuate Darkney, go set up a town somewhere else, but no. We were only met with blood and refusal.
Rashon, you must understand, they can't just go out of the protection of the city. There's a war brewing out there that they're
Exactly.
afraid of as well.
Exactly, and we cannot stay here. This is what it has come to. Either we take the city, or you take us all out.
I think even if you take this city, the war will not pass you by. Nilfgaard has magic of its own. What makes you think it wouldn't be able to discover or pierce the veil of this this tree casts.
We
When
know.
they do come, you will need everyone. You will need the humans from the town, and there are elves who live in the town as well, and half-elves.
He has a point.
Good point, Jessica.
If they are smart, they will run when the siege comes. But we need that tree. We know how to take care of it, how to nurture its magic to make it a force that will stop Nilfgaard in its tracks and protect us.
Rashon, I want to see that tree in your hands. I know it's safer and better used in your hands, but you can't just go in there and slaughter everyone. There has to be some way, perhaps remove Ulna. Would that not satisfy you? Perhaps if we just get rid of her and her higher-ups, and maybe restructure the town where people can live in peace together. You in charge of the tree, as it should be.
You think that if I take out one human, another one will not rise in its place, calling us knife ear, cursing us, wanting to exterminate us again? How do you think we ended up here? Look around you. These are the ruins of a once great people. No, we have trusted humans. We have tried to work with them. And now, yes, you are reaping the benefits of the seeds that you have sown. War is at your door, and it is your own fault. We are here to help our people. And Ulna, if you try to take this tree from her, she will do everything she can to stop you as well. This is not easy. She has taken things from us that I cannot forgive. Negotiations are far past.
You've taken things too.
Well,
You see Rashon cock her head and walk towards you. What have we taken that you know?
I see Geralt. I guess I was sitting down. I stand up and walk in front of Siri, in front of the Rashon. Go in my pouch, take the dagger and put it on her chest. You know what you took. Where is she?
Rashon takes the dagger from your hand. She is safe. For now.
Show us.
You're going to need to roll me some intimidation, Geralt.
Ooh, I never rolled this before.
In the most Geralt response.
Okay. I kind of want to re-roll again. I want to re-roll. How many re-rolls we have?
There are 2 rerolls.
I don't know,
Left?
I've done a lot of rerolls.
2 rerolls left?
Yes.
Oh no, Jessica.
I'm going to re-roll.
All right.
Alright.
Yes!
It explodes.
Explodes.
Ah, yes.
Explodes again. Explodes again. That's a 33 plus 8.
That is
the
very
best-
intimidating.
Best use
That's
of
a
a reroll.
41.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm wasting.
That was so worth it.
I'm scared. I know you and I like you and I'm scared.
This is what happens. Geralt, as you say this and step forward, said, "Show us." Almost as soon as you say that, the candles in the room go out mysteriously at the same time as you're eclipsed by darkness, and almost all of the pleasantry and for a moment almost all the sound is sucked out of the room as you stand toe to toe with Rashon, and the overwhelming presence and power of your Witcher self, this mutated person, this person not of the human world, this person not of the magic world, but this devised combination of the two, this Venn diagram meeting of a person, shakes Rashon for a moment as she realized she has underestimated who she is working and addressing. I will be back.
Good.
As Rashon exits the tent, and the 5 of you are set sitting there for a moment. And as soon as Rashon exits, mysteriously the lights and the candles in the tent reignite.
Why would you offer to kill someone for a woman that would take a child?
Kill her? No. I didn't. Not to kill Ulna, but to just
To just what?
remove her.
Remove her to where?
Take
where?
a holiday.
What?
I don't know.
Ideally, I would love them to all work together.
Why can't they just share
peacefully?
it?
But it looks like they have an army. That's just a town full of civilians. It's going to be bloodshed either way.
And you've just offered us up to kill one of them.
Not yet. No.
Can anyone here disagree with that? That by saying that we are willing to remove Ulna, that these people don't think that we're going to kill her?
Well, I mean, if they think that, that's fine, but that's not what we're going to do. Right?
I don't want to kill Ulna.
Yeah, I think you're taking this the wrong way.
We're trying to get a peaceful resolution out of this situation. And I want to find that little girl. I know that they won't hurt her.
She said yet.
As soon as you say that, Siri, Rashon walks back in. And she's holding Letty in her arms. As you see, Letty is asleep. As Rashon walks over and gently puts Letty on the cot in her tent.
And lean down and check on her.
She is asleep. She seems to be almost in this kind of magically induced deep sleep. You cannot determine if it is restful or to keep her still.
What was the point of taking her?
Retribution.
You would stoop that low. Just like the humans you despise. You would stoop to that level. Hurt a child.
I did not hurt her. I did not kill her.
Well, you said you were planning on it.
Perhaps it was a threat.
I'd like to say in the elder speech of the elves, if you water this tree with the blood of innocence, it will forsake your people. You know this.
Roll me a d10 plus your elven speech.
That is a 13. Oh wait, no, I get a +3 from the empathy, so it's 16.
Oh, yeah. Your speech is very clear, and your choice of words makes Rashon laugh. She, as she responds back to you only in Elven. I am not the one watering that tree with the blood of innocent. She turns to the rest of the group. It is a life for a life. I promise I have not hurt this girl. I have told Ulna I will not hurt her people, but she must stop hurting mine. You want to know so badly how that tree protects itself. That tree does not feed on soil or water or sunlight. It feeds on blood. Blood. Blood is what makes that tree magic. And Ulna has been feeding it blood, the blood of my people. She has been capturing them and feeding it, feeding their blood, killing them ritually to the tree. Yes, it is a sacred tree, and I know that, well, many of us would die for its protection, but she has been kidnapping my people. I have ransomed her people against her, begging her to give me mine back.
Ulna's done this. How long has she been doing that?
Wait, do you have proof of this?
I can name you all of my friends, my comrades, my soldiers, who no longer are here, who have gone missing in the night, who have brothers, wives, children, parents looking for them. And yet that tree's magic, we all feel it. Like a horrible rumbling in our stomachs. We feel when that tree becomes more powerful, and at the same time when one of us goes missing. So yes, the time of negotiation is up. Geralt of Rivia and company. We will attack at dawn. You have until then to make your decision. Now please, take back this girl. I will give you that.
Thank you.
And let us begin. For the new day beckons war. As she says that, the curtain flaps are once again held open by 2 guards, and the 5 of you, who has decided to carry,
I'll carry the child. I was down there with her.
Siri, you are able to pick up Letty. As you carry Letty out, the 5 of you are led by a Scoia'tael guard to the edge of the elven ruins. And as you step out, the guards simply take a step back, and the stone doors close.
That could have gone much better. Worse,
And so it could have gone worse.
but better too.
We got Letty back.
I knew they wouldn't hurt her.
So we're going to go back to Darkney and tell them that the attack's coming at dawn, and they're going to go, "Oh no, we can take them, don't worry, we're brave." And then they're all going to die.
Do we confront Ulna and
I believe the Scoia'tael that I believe nobody would
Yeah, no, I mean,
be driven to steal a child like that for nothing.
If you believe the Scoia'tael, there's no way that the people of Darkney know that Ulna's doing this. What if we told her people
they
what she
don't.
was doing?
Of course they
would the
don't
people
know.
do?
Maybe they would leave. Ulna's been the one keeping them there, telling them that it'll be okay. And they can't trust her. They could leave, and if Ulna wants to stay and fight, then she can stay and fight, and that is her fight to lose.
Where would they go?
Anywhere else.
You're right.
I don't know if these people are stronger than their fear of the war. Fear's a powerful motivator, and they feel safe in their town. They've been told constantly that they're safe there.
Right, and that's why they haven't left yet. But if they knew that Ulna had been lying to them about the tree and about its powers,
They would be even safer there if Ulna wasn't in charge and the Scoia'tael were taking care of the tree again. Without blood sacrifice, I cannot believe she's gone to that level.
Are you gonna fix generations of racial tension in one village?
No, we
What
need to
can't
show
say?
them. We need to expose what Ulna has done to the people.
Was it just elven blood that makes
I'm
it free?
sure. I'm sure she's
the
just
source
using
of the
elven
magic
blood.
is elven.
No,
Must
I'm
be.
wondering if
She's been.
she's baiting the elven Scoia'tael into the town to kill everyone to feed the tree for her, as well as both the human blood and the elven blood.
She is.
I mean, we went from basically working for this woman to thinking that she's some sort of evil mastermind.
Anything's possible in this world.
We knew there were 2 sides to the story. There had to be a reason why these elves have refused to share the land. This is a pretty compelling reason.
The elves did try to share, according to them. They
did
said they
try.
were previously, before all of this happened.
And
It's
what
just
happened?
too late.
The violence, I assume.
The violence and the people that taking the town and the land that didn't belong to them.
We need to go back to Darkney.
Ulna's never going to agree to any of this. Might it not be easier just to try to quietly smuggle as many people out of the town and convince
And
them?
bring them where?
I mean, anywhere else.
I don't see why they would be turned away from another town.
How do we turn them?
They've done nothing
against her?
wrong.
But there are refugees everywhere. I actually don't know where the closest. Like, is there time
I
for
don't
them to
know.
get somewhere else before
Any other
war really
towns?
hits?
Well, I mean, Sodden Hill held. We could send them back there.
I don't know any of the towns around here. The war's capable of taking anything and anyone.
That's true.
Geralt, a familiar phrase keeps echoing in your mind. A phrase that reminds you of one of your darkest days. A day of which you are known for. A day of which you received the name the Butcher of Blaviken. The lesser of 2 evils. The lesser of 2 evils. Simply echoes in your mind.
I don't want to resort to any violence to where if we go back to Darkney, I don't want any lives lost, both on the Scoia'tael and the civilians there. We need to speak to Ulna before bloodshed happens. She's closed the door, right? Rashon.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Yes, the door has been closed, and I will say, as you have all been talking and
Walking and
conversing,
talking.
you've been walking and talking as the moon reaches a peak overhead. You're lit by starlight and the glow of Darkney in front of you. As you reach the town gates, they slowly open for you, and you find yourself in a quiet, simple night in Darkney. You see a few people walking around laughing, two gentlemen carrying each other stumbling out of a tavern, laundry being hung up, windows being closed, fires being snuffed out as Darkney begins to peacefully rest for one more night. What would you like to do?
Look at all these people just going about their lives.
They need to know the truth. And then once they know the truth, they need to see the reality of their options. Either go out and get killed in the wars out there, or live side by side by the Scoia'tael. Put aside their prejudices.
But it doesn't sound like the
They're not going to do
Scoia'tael
that. The
can put
Scoia'tael are
aside
going to
their
kill them if they
prejudices.
don't leave.
We'll have to make the Scoia'tael live with them as well.
We
You
j-
can't
literally
do
just
that.
tried that.
There's too much resentment. It's gone on for too long.
We can't fix it.
We need to go find out if Ulna has actually been feeding
Yeah, can we
blood
go?
to
We,
this
should, we
tree.
probably should go look
No,
at
Let's
the
visit her
tree.
then.
Every time that we were in a fight with a Scoia'tael and they were close to death,
They kill themselves.
they took their own lives at the base of that tree. I don't know how that makes sense. If Ulna has been feeding elven blood to them without their permission, why would they want to make the tree stronger while in her control?
Yeah, that didn't square with me either.
I see. I was thinking about that
absolutely
as
right.
well, and it doesn't quite make sense. I think
It seemed like a release for them, not a punishment.
unless the tree knew and called to them that their lives were, yeah.
I feel like everyone is lying to us,
I 100% agree.
and people are going to die because of it and because of us.
I mean, we could just go. We could just let them sort it out on their own and just.
Ooh, I feel like that would keep me up at night, though.
Yeah, me too.
Doesn't
That's
work like that
something.
for witches.
Yes, that's not something a
Ulna.
witcher would say.
Ulna offered money, coin. We go where the coin is.
Well, then the choice is made, right? Did she actually give us coin?
No, she actually owes us, so we actually need to speak to her. That's a good point.
If she pays us, then that's the witcher way, right? It's not about what's right and wrong, is it?
Wait, so if she pays us, what do? We defeat the Scoia'tael?
Well, that's not a part of the.
On an entire army?
I think
That's
this
what
goes
she's hiring
beyond
us
coin.
for. She's saying she wants to hire us to protect Darkney and
She-
To be the
she
god
wanted-
dogs. Yes.
She wanted a presence here, thinking that it would stop them, and it clearly won't.
So she's scared. She knows that she can't do it alone. She cannot stave them off by herself.
This army, I don't think it's beatable.
And then we
These-
could tip the balance.
I agree.
I mean, if we tell
Agree.
Ulna, listen, we're not going to help you against the Scoia'tael. We will help you evacuate, however. Maybe she'll choose the lesser of two evils and then have her people evacuate with us.
I feel like we have to at least try that.
Because this is an
I
army
agree.
of righteous anger now. Like
Yes.
they're willing to either win or die trying. It's not like they're gonna give up and go away.
Absolutely.
Oh,
They have
willing to
nothing
take
less.
child.
Then we go to Ulna.
That's good enough.
Siri, you are still carrying Letty.
Mhm.
Where would you like? Would you like to lay Letty down at the maid's burden? Or would you like to take Letty to Ulna?
Is there like a room for her or somewhere that we can put her that she would be safe at the Maid's Burden?
I would say yes, you could put her in your room at the Maid's Burden.
All right. How old was she? Did she read?
She was about 5.
Not
4 or
reading.
5.
Not
Mhm.
reading.
I mean, I read at that age.
Is it possible to wake her up in any way if we were to?
You try to wake her, and this sleep, this magically induced sleep, is still very heavy on her. She's not waking.
All right.
Just tell the innkeeper that.
Shall we take her to the potion maker?
I'm just afraid that if we leave her here and things go wrong, that she'll get wrapped up in it, and we won't have time to come back and get her.
You have to put. Someone's got to be in charge of the kid.
I mean, if she's in some sort of trance or under some sort of spell, I don't think she's going to wake up
What about the
without
herbalist?
someone
The herbalist,
doing
exactly.
something. Do we have time to go see an herbalist before we go talk to Ulna about this?
Can we ask one of the innkeepers to take her to the herbalist? Delegate?
Yeah, or we could split up.
We're limited on time, so it might be best to split up. for
I'll
now.
take her to the herbalist.
I'm going to go to Ulna.
Yeah, I'm going to see Ulna. I'm not really a babysitter.
We're going to get some answers from her.
I guess I'm going alone.
No, I'll go with you.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean,
Before dawn, we should meet up again. But where?
I mean, the herbalist, hopefully it won't take long.
it shouldn't take long. Yeah.
We'll meet you in the town square.
Well, what time is it now? Is it about 7-ish?
It is
8?
about, like 9, 10. It's pretty late. The town is going to
Oh.
sleep.
Oh, then the herbalist probably won't be open.
I'm
well,
sure she can
it's
make an
not
exception.
hard
We'll
enough.
wake her up.
An
I mean,
exception
she's
for a
sleeping.
child.
It'll be fine.
Let's
I'm not worried. I'm
The
not
other-
here to be polite.
I would, as somebody who has watched everyone I ever knew and loved fall around me in war, maybe it's best she gets to sleep through it.
But then we don't have anyone to be responsible for a sleeping child. People are more willing to take care of a child if it can, run around behind them on its own. If it's between them grabbing belongings that they need to survive or carrying a 5-year-old, I don't trust another person to pick the 5-year-old.
She is quite cute.
She's asleep.
Within that moment, you see a figure coming towards you in a beautiful scarlet robe covering her dress.
This bitch.
Geralt. Ciri, Jaskier, Yennefer, Marilka.
Yes.
Oh. What happened here? That's Horace's younger sister. Is everything okay?
No, it's not. She was taken by the Scoia'tael.
I see. Please, if I may.
What? What do you want?
She looks to be under a magically induced sleep. I can help her.
She's safe with us for now.
Well, then come into my home.
You can wake her, but I'm not leaving her.
Come into my home, please. It is
Go.
getting late. Let us talk.
Okay.
I still must pay you for assisting Horace and his family with their monster problem, which I believe you have taken care of.
There's many monster problems around here.
Yes, we have.
As Ulna leads you into the alder house, she opens the door for you and she leads you back upstairs to kind of her quarters where you gently place Letty onto her bed. And you see Ulna using her mage abilities, which you have not really seen that she's used before. So for those of you who did not know that Ulna was a mage, you're a little surprised that
I knew it.
I remember.
She's kept this for a while. And as Ulna, you see her concentrate her magic over Letty and gently touches both of her eyes. And you see her almost pull out this blue-like magic from Letty's nose. As Letty then kind of readjusts and kind of cozily tucks herself back in and is now normally asleep. Now your payment. Ulna walks over to the table and brings out the 5 satchels, black satchels of gold. Here is your payment as promised. I sense a tension here. I believe you saw the Scoia'tael, did you not?
I'm sorry, what? What makes you think we've seen the Scoia'tael?
It is the dressing on Geralt and Yaskir's hands. Those are makeshift bandages. Bandages by elves.
A storm is brewing. A storm that you and any of your soldiers cannot stop on your own. You need our help, and I'm not quite so sure we want to at this point. We have some questions for you.
All right. If you do not wish to help, you can simply leave town. Unfortunately, I have realized that this conflict is inevitable, whether we like it or not.
This conflict will raze your town to the ground.
No, I will stop the threat that is harrowing my town.
How?
Yourself?
Yes.
Please enlighten us. How are you going to stop it on your own?
You have gone and spoken with the Scoia'tael. Why should I tell you how I'm going to stop them if perhaps you were working with them?
Well, we are brilliant tacticians who could poke holes in your plan and perhaps shake your confidence, which seems quite unearned.
I simply want to protect my people.
This is not about protecting your people. This is about your pride. It's about you being possessive about this tree. If you truly cared about your people, you would work with us to help evacuate them.
Where would they go?
Well, on to the next town.
So they can be drafted into a war where they will all be slaughtered? So Nilfgaard can come in and slay every single last one of them?
Well, it won't be at dawn. Maybe it'll be a week from now, maybe a month from now, but it won't be at dawn.
I know how to use this tree. I know who to call.
How did you learn how to use this tree?
Who are you calling to protect your town?
How are you calling?
How are you calling that power?
I've said enough. You can
I
help.
want to shoulder charge her into the wall.
Ooh. Roll me 1d10 plus your brawl.
How diplomatic.
Time for diplomacy is past.
I want to reroll that.
Lives
All right,
are on
Do
the
we have
line.
it?
Yes, you have 3 rerolls after this.
Oh, we need more rerolls.
Said
We're gonna need so
brawling?
Yes.
Oh. Oh my god, I want to reroll again.
Oh my god. Tell us more.
Okay. That is it's a 12.
With a 12, you are able to shoulder check her, but as you push her into a wall, she magically she raises a hand and you feel this force almost starting to push you back as almost you're at a contest of strength. Geralt, I don't think that is a good idea.
Who are you going to call on? If you care about your people, then you should tell us everything and maybe we should help. We could help.
I'm going to Fine. I'm going to summon a great mighty force. A force that is connected to this tree, a force that is connected to this land. A force that I have a connection to as well.
And you think you can control this force once you summon it?
It will protect this tree.
Is it Corvo? Do you think you can call Corvo? Your dead brother?
She does not respond.
You're going to summon this force to protect yourself against the Scoia'tael, creating another war, just like the Nilfgaardians. What makes you so different than them?
Upon hearing that, she slowly lowers a hand, and you feel the force pushing you back, contesting you, Geralt, drop. Nobody wants war. And I didn't want this. I started this town with every intention to protect the people here, to offer a sanctuary, to
bring back Corvo?
protect people, because I've lost everything, yes. I lost everything because I could not protect my younger half-brother. And I swore that I would try to make this world a better place. So of course, yes, I found this tree that emits a magical essence that causes this town to be cloaked. Nobody can find it unless I want them to.
At the cost of what? At the cost of what? What have you done to protect your town?
What I had to do. This tree is... The magic of this tree is weak on its own, but in order to make it strong enough to protect us from an army,
You need elven blood.
Yes. And
And that's why you wanted us to provoke a fight with the Scoia'tael. So you'd have an excuse to do that.
yes.
You want the violence. You want the Scoia'tael to come. Because their blood.
We'll protect you from Nilfgaard.
Yes.
To protect your people, you're going to put them in danger.
Yep.
What kind of logic is that?
To save them from one army, you'll subject them to another?
It's because it isn't love that you have for your people. This is just your pride.
You own them now.
This is not the way to go about dealing with the pain of the loss of your brother. There's other ways. You don't need to put an entire town of people in danger.
They know I will protect them, and I will keep that promise.
But do
they know
you
how
know?
you're protecting them?
Yes. They know not to ask questions. They know to trust. They know that there is a magical power that protects them here.
Sounds just like a king talking to his disciples about the army that will protect them if they just join them and fight for them.
You are free to leave. I see that that Darkney's issues have burdened you too much. So I please ask that you must leave.
I'm going to take my dagger out, and I'm just going to stab it into her side.
Roll me 1d10 plus your swordsmanship.
I may want to stop this.
I'm okay, all right.
I'm not going to kill her.
We're gonna have a roll off.
I'm not trying to kill her.
You're both going to roll
Just
it.
giving her a mild shanking.
Geralt, if you want to stop Siri,
Baby step.
All right, I'm sorry. It's plus my what?
Geralt, stop.
I don't have swordsmanship, so what is it plus?
if Geralt is going to try and stop you, you're both going to roll a straight d10 to see who wins this.
All right,
I'll
well,
never
I did
win
my
that.
one roll.
Oh my god.
No.
I win.
Add your swordsmanship.
I don't have swordsmanship.
Then you will add your reflex.
All right, that makes it 17.
With a 17
And the element of surprise.
and the element of surprise, Siri, you quickly stick a dagger into Ulna's side.
What? Siri, what are you doing?
Siri!
You are not going to let an entire town of people suffer. Plus an entire tribe of Scoia'tael people because you miss your brother.
I am doing what needs to be done here.
Leave. You can leave, and we will let you leave. But you will leave this town. You have no right to take these people's lives. I pull the dagger out, step back.
Okay, princess.
We don't want war. Seems like you're the only one who does here. And if we have to, it looks like we're gonna have to stop you.
Trust when I say that dagger was not intended to kill you, but it is absolutely willing to.
Fine. I'll leave. As you see Ulna press her hand to her side as now her red blood starts to kind of stain the scarlet robe on the outside of her blue dress. She walks down the stairs of her home.
I stand defensively next to Letty.
I don't like this.
What happens if she goes to the tree?
The five of you just watch her as she walks down the stairs and she exits her home. As you look
We need
at
to follow
I'm going to
her.
follow her, and I'm
Okay.
going to get in between her and that damn tree. I do not want her getting near it. Everybody, do not let her get near that tree.
I mean, do you want me to just... I'll shoot her in the eye.
No, we need to get her out of here.
Upon hearing that, she bolts, and she's already outside.
Go! I bolt after her?
I'll run
As
as well.
she takes out a sword, and she holds it to her neck as she stands
no.
against the base of the tree.
I scream.
Oh, no.
Oh!
I want to knock her away from the tree. Can I?
Do you have any vigor points?
I do. I have all of my vigor points restored.
Do you?
I was told that I did.
Your health was restored, not
I
necessarily.
had that T.
Yes, the T
The T
restored
was
your
the
health.
Oh, I thought
It
it was
restored-
magical abilities because I thought
It
they were healing
restored
us
the
separately.
magical exhaustion that you had put upon yourself from overusing your vigor, but a good old rest that you could have done over the night and confronted Ulna in the morning may have helped.
All right.
Nope.
Damn.
Well, I'm going to use 2 vigor points towards my health.
All right. Roll me.
Just to knock her away from the tree.
Knock her away from the tree.
I could probably use 1 for that to knock her away from the tree.
All right.
All right.
Roll me your spellcasting.
Do I have rerolls?
What did you roll?
I rolled a 6. That would make it a 10.
Yes.
just knock her back.
You can use a reroll.
All right.
There are 2 remaining after this.
Would a 10 knock her back?
It's going to need a little bit more than a 10. This is a mage you're dealing with.
All right. I'm going to do 1 more.
All right. Siri.
We're so close.
Wait. Not in the box. Not in the box. It's my spell casting and not anything else. I didn't
Oh, we
make
need
it.
more.
It was a 9 to try and knock her back.
Siri, as you start, you kind of motion to your group to cover their ears as you stand in the doorway of Ulna's alder house, and you just ready this scream. You see Ulna's hair kind of come quickly undone from her updo as it comes down to this fiery, like just now unkempt braid as she sticks out a hand, and almost like a wave crashing against a rock, you see that your magical force, she is pushing it back as she pushes it up and away from her. As it pushes everybody who was coming out to chase Ulna, Ciri's now reflected magic pushes you back and sends you across the ground.
I'm actually still at Ulna's house.
Yeah.
Does she have a cellar? Does she have a souterrain of any sort?
I believe her home has a cellar, yes.
I'd like to look for it.
Please take Letty with you. Please
Good
take the
idea.
child with you.
Huh?
I'm still up there. So
Okay, Letty's up there.
Yeah.
As Ulna holds the dagger to her throat, you see her mouth start to mutter something. As you then start to see blood come out of her eyes and drip down her face. She takes a potion from her pocket. She throws it onto the ground, slices her hand, puts her hand where the glass and potion meet on stone, and then simply slits her own throat in front of the tree and dies. Yaskir, as you look for the basement of this alder house, you suddenly, unbeknownst to the events that are happening outside, you suddenly start to feel a rumbling in the basement of this alder house.
Oh, this is exactly what I thought it was.
As this bright light seems to kind of keep, like, splashing out from beneath the floorboards of this basement. Who all is outside right now?
I am.
Ciri, Yennefer, and Marilka. You see, as soon as Ulna's body hits the ground, for the first time, the tree starts to lose leaves. as these beautiful green effervescent leaves of this tree start to fall and almost like crystal shatter onto the ground around her. As this beautiful ivory base of this tree, you see from where Ulna lays, these gray veins start to seep up through this tree. Geralt, you're still upstairs?
Yeah, with Letty.
Great. You see out the window that this tree is not looking good as you just witnessed Ulna kill herself in sacrifice of something of that which you do not know. Suddenly, Yaskir, the rumbling beneath the floorboards grows louder and louder as suddenly the cellar door underneath a rug about 12 feet away from you flies open, and this magical energy just comes flying out. This crazy beam of just powerful, this red energy just comes firing out, shoots through the front doors. The front doors are flown open. Marilka, Yennefer, and Ciri, you feel this incredible magical force pass by you, like brushing your hair, causing all the glass in the windows around you to break, as that magical energy then focuses itself on the ring of potion and blood and glass that Ulna had pushed her hand into on the ground. And suddenly from that spot, you see this figure rising. At first, in this red energy, it almost looks human for a moment. But then you see as this creature begins to manifest. You see these two large claws thump onto the ground with these large feathered arms. You see these two lion-like back legs sit with these three giant black claws, this large whipping tail, and this beautiful golden feathered hawk-like face. As now summoned there
You asked for this.
is a royal griffin.
You asked for this.
right.
You
You
wanted
did this to
You
us.
It
said
said
that.
2 of them, right?
This is your fault.
No.
You know
Oh.
that, right?
Just had to say.
Ciri,
Should have slept
Ciri,
first.
Marilka, and Yennefer, you notice that this griffin, compared to the griffins that you've heard about, has different eyes as the eyes of this griffin
Hungry eyes?
are that of a witcher.
Same. It's Corvo.
Oh.
This griffin suddenly lets out this horrendous roar of a screech as you start to hear the town of Darkney waking up from their slumber, opening windows, terrified of what is happening and what is about to befall the city. We're going to roll for initiative. Who's all outside? It's Ciri, Marilka, and Yennefer. Geralt, you've just seen all this transpire from the glass window on the second story.
I'm gonna have to run out there and help.
It's D10 plus your reflex.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 16.
Also a 16.
14.
11 for me.
Do I do it now or we gotta wait? Because I didn't run out there yet.
Oh, then we will wait
Okay.
for you.
Well, I'm not running out there. I just wanted to, I wanted to run upstairs.
Oh,
and
okay.
Take
Oh,
over.
perfect. Then yes, you go ahead and roll, and that will be what you do.
Okay. It's a 9.
Plus your reflex.
Oh, plus my reflexes. So 21.
Geralt, you're going first.
Okay. Okay. You see Geralt take out his silver sword, and I noticed the Witcher eyes by now.
You do not.
Okay.
It's like you're up on the second story, like you're not getting a clear look. You are not on the same eye level as this griffin, this royal griffin.
Well, I want to try to bait it to focus on me, away from everyone else, to sort of protect them
Okay.
from the griffin. So I'm going to run up to the griffin.
You were in the second story. Are you going to run down the
Oh,
second
I
story
thought
of
that
the
was down
house?
here. I'm running down. Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I will say with your action, you're able to run down the stairs, and you're able to take a readying stance at the floor if you want to put yourself in front of the griffin and everybody else.
Yes.
Wonderful. And as you do that,
You healed,
Geralt,
right?
that's when you realize, for the first time, you actually do see these yellow cat-like witcher eyes that are incredibly. Those are not common for royal griffins or any kind of griffin whatsoever. And almost upon looking at you, you sense this haunting sense of recognition.
That's odd. Everyone stay on guard.
Can we take this down on our own? Should we not get help maybe from the Scoia'tael?
How? What time is it?
It is about midnight now.
So we've got 6 hours.
I don't think that we can.
To
Don't
hold
think
it
we
for
can
6 hours.
hold for
It'll be
6 hours.
fine.
Perhaps we can lead this thing out of the city
That's a good
towards
plan.
the Scoia'tael. I mean, they're ready. They're ready to kill something.
Well,
That's
I was going to
actually-
look for something in Ulna's house, maybe something connected to the
She
summoning.
did have a box. She
That
did
may
have a
be
box.
a
The
good
box.
idea.
I can open the box.
Get that box. Get
You
that
can
box.
open the box.
I'm looking for stuff.
The griffin's turn is next. As it quickly ascends and you see it push itself off the ground and fly into the air over the city of Darkney as it lets out this horrific screech as it lands on top of the great tree and simply waits, protecting it.
You know, the idea you had of baiting it to the Scoia'tael is not a bad plan at all.
Or we could go and tell the Scoia'tael to come here. I don't think this thing is going to leave this tree.
Whatever you do, do not go near that tree. Do not.
Fine.
Where's Yaskia? Yaskia should go get the Scoia'tael.
Yaskier? I think he's inside.
Are you going to get the box?
I'm looking
Get that
for
box.
mage stuff. There's got to be something connected to the summoning. Maybe we
I
can
was just
Absolutely
gonna
right.
shoot
right?
it.
You're absolutely right.
Someone can go get the box. While they're there, get Yaskia. Tell Yaskia to go get the Scoia'tael.
Marilka, it is your turn. Would you like to do something?
Go get the box.
Marilka, please. Go get that box.
Scream to
Fine.
Yaskier over
too.
here.
I run back into the house, I guess.
Marilka, you run back into the home. Yasker, you suddenly see Marilka running in after this horrible royal griffin screech outside.
So,
Go get the
outside
box.
bad.
No. Go get the Scoia'tael. I have to get the box.
What box?
The box she pulled them on. It was the locked drawer thing. Everyone keeps saying it was a box. It was a bloody drawer.
Okay, so I go get the Scoia'tael and tell them what? That Ulna's dead and that
Ulna's
the
dead.
griffin-
Her brother is a griffin now, and he's protecting the tree.
Okay, Letty's upstairs too. Is she not?
Yes. I don't know what to do about that, but
I'll take her with me.
take it.
Can I be calling a Yaskia? By chance?
Oh, I
Just want to yell in his name.
I hear the dulcet tones of my friend Geralt of Rivia.
What do you want to say?
Take Roach.
Yes, sir.
I whistle to have Roach just come.
As soon as you whistle, Roach is just like, Roach had actually been roped off. It's surprising that you did not take Roach earlier. Roach has been roped off by the inn for some time now. As Roach comes galloping over to where the alder house is, you see that Roach, by the second, is getting more and more uncomfortable with being where this griffin is because griffins like to eat horses.
Yes.
So this griffin is starting to now, seeing Roach approach, you see this griffin start to lower its shoulders in a cat-like pounce, ready for its first meal of the night.
Well, I have Letty in my arms, and I want to run out and wave to Roach. Roach, buddy, we need a ride. Geralt said it's okay, and it's me, your friendly oat provider.
You are able, due to your bond with Roach, you're able to calm Roach slightly as yes, you're able to get on top of Roach with Letty and ride off.
And I try and open the drawer if I have the chance, or I'll wait until next time.
Siri, it is now your turn.
It doesn't seem to be attacking us. Do we attack it?
I think we just keep it there.
Keep it there.
Let's distract it with something. Something.
As long as his attention's not on Roach and Yaskia.
All right.
Distraction. Let's create a distraction for it.
In theory, my power has been utilized in the past to slow things down.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a possibility that I could cast a point of vigor to not attack it, but cast something that would slow its movement, but not come across as like an impact that would cause it to attack?
That kind of control is going to cost you 2 points of vigor.
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Roll me your willpower.
That is a 17.
17. You are successful.
Okay.
So that is minus 10 to your health.
Sure is.
And you're going to roll me 2d6.
All right. That is 6.
With a 6. Yes, Siri, you are able to... As you let out this scream, it isn't like a scream you released in the past. It's almost like this mournful wail that seems to create almost, it's not necessarily like you hoped. It is not attacking this griffin, but instead almost creating this time barrier around this griffin, causing it to, you see its movement start to slow in this tree. As your time, as this griffin waits, has been elongated for a moment. In addition, you all have been granted each an alchemic potion. I have rolled what you have gotten, and I will give it to you now. Marilka, you now have a +3 to your intelligence, so any intelligence rolls. Yennefer, you have a +3 to your empathy rolls. Yaskir, you have a +3 to your dexterity rolls. Geralt, you have a +3 to your intelligence rolls. And Ciri, you have a +3 to your willpower rolls.
All right.
It is now Yennefer's turn.
So is the griffin kind of like stilled?
It's very, you see that this griffin has almost been soothed by this time magic. It is now calmer. It is now just, you see its movements are slowed beneath you as almost it is caught in this time dish on top of this tree.
Okay. I kind of want to create a little illusion almost, maybe like a horse, just in case once it's out of its time loop, to help distract it while we're still waiting for the next step of the plan.
You want to conjure a horse illusion?
Yes.
All right. How many vigor points do you have?
I only have like 3 left, so maybe not. What do I do? Jeez. I mean, maybe just get further back then, at this point, and make sure that nobody else is approaching this tree.
I will say this, Yennefer, as soon as you start to see townsfolk coming out in their sleep clothes and their bed clothes, doors opening, people approaching, almost, and you start to hear this terror, these whispers of fear grow into a rumble, grow into a roar as people start to freak out and are about to cause a chaotic mess for Darkney.
I'll cast a calm spell.
Calm.
A calming spell, yes, over everybody, and try to convince everyone to leave the town.
Roll me. That's if you want to cast it over everybody.
Well, everyone in the vicinity.
In the vicinity.
Yeah.
All right. How powerful do you want this to be? That will be your vigor determination.
Just something to gently, so that they don't approach the tree and start freaking out in a frenzy. How much vigor?
I'll say 1 will kind of just tell them, and they'll kind of be like, oh, okay. 2 will definitely get them to leave.
I only have 3 left, so I'll have to just use 1.
All right.
Who knows what lies ahead?
Roll me your willpower.
All right. Do I get a boost? Oh, +3 to willpower. Okay, so
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, if that is a boost you have not used yet, then please do so.
Yes, so 13 plus 10 is 23 plus 8 is 31.
31.
With a 31, you are very successful. Now roll me your 1d6.
All right. 6.
Nice.
With a 6, I will say yes. These you see that there's a group about 10 people to your right and 15 people to your left that have started to kind of come out holding children, investigating. You hear the mumbles of, where's Ulna? What's wrong with the tree? What's wrong with the tree? As they start to kind of crowd around as you step forward and you cast this calming spell that is somewhat familiar to witchers over this kind of mental influential kind of cloud. You cast it over this crowd of people, and what do you say?
Calm down, leave, get away from the tree. Everything's going to be fine. You will be safe if you leave, if you get away from this square and the tree.
telling them to go back to their own homes or leave the town?
Oh, go back home. Go back home. Seek shelter. Everything's gonna be fine. You need to stay away from this tree.
With that, you see almost these two groups of people almost start to like nod. Oh yes, we need to go home. I need to go home now. As they all slowly start to turn and make their way back into their homes. We cut to Yaskir, who is furiously riding Roach. As you approach out the doors, the southern gates of Darkney, you suddenly see Roach. You suddenly feel Roach rear back, and you see something you didn't expect. You see the army of the Scoia'tael already headed your way. You see Rashon leading the way, furious. You see blood coming out of her eyes. You see blood coming out of the eyes of all the Scoia'tael headed towards you as they charge. You hear Rashon yell at you in Elven, "What have you done to the tree?"
It was Ulna. We were coming to find you to get your help. But she made a brother into a griffin, I guess? Anyway, so you've saved me some time by meeting me on the road. Feel like defending your birthright?
As you say this, all these Scoia'tael agents are running past you and into the city as they're climbing on top of rooftops and headed into this main square.
If you could please not kill any of the innocent people who live here, we should just talk about this. Let's focus on the griffin for now.
Rashon grabs you and rips you down from Roach. And you're just like, or just pulls you down as your feet are still kind of settled into Roach's saddle.
Mm-hmm.
Bring me to it now.
Okay. I do have a child, and you're giving a very bad example. Look at her. She's distressed. You should really let go of me. This is quite scary for her. I mean, I'm not scared, but that's because I'm very brave.
You see Rashon pull Letty off the horse.
Oh,
there is no more child.
What have you done with her?
She is safe outside the city.
All right, fair enough. So, yeah, it's this way. Up the high street. Take a left at the... it's on top of the tree.
You suddenly ride back with Rashon back into Darkney. You keep...
Does she sleep still?
She's still asleep.
Okay.
So you just kind of put her off near where the stables are and the other horses are.
Okay.
As those are on the outside of the southern gates of Darkney.
Amazing.
we're fine.
Yaskir, you suddenly ride in back with Rashon, Geralt, Ciri, Yennefer, and Marilka. As soon as you see the last of the residents of Darkney kind of make their way out of the streets, you suddenly hear this roar of another group of people. Perhaps it's more residents of Darkney awoken up by this terrifying noise. No, it's not.
Uh-oh.
You suddenly see these Scoia'tael agents climbing over rooftops and leaping towards the tree. And you notice, whether they're wearing masks or headdresses or not, you see these lines of blood just coming out of their eyes as they start to charge the tree, and all of them just stand and see this griffin. And as this griffin slowly starts to notice more and more and more enemies surrounding this tree, you see it slowly, still being affected by this time magic, it's slowly turning around and preparing for an attack. All these Scoia'tael agents now line. You see them creating almost this horseshoe-like around you. Many of them are on top of the roofs of these homes, aiming their bows and arrows. Many of them are brandishing swords and daggers, ready to fight this beast in front of the tree, as you notice that these gray veins have already risen up the trunk of the tree and are now spreading across its branches as more and more of these green, beautiful, magical leaves fall to the ground and break in a crystalline way, just shattering, creating these tiny fragments of magic onto the ground that slowly turn to dust and blow away with the wind. Suddenly, coming up from the rear is Yaskir on Roach, led by Rashon.
Rashon, what is going on?
So I brought the Scoia'tael.
I see that.
You're welcome.
Rashon punches you in the face, Geralt. What do you want to do?
I want to grab her fist.
All right. It's a contest of strength. Woo!
What am I rolling?
You're going to roll against me. We're each going to roll a d10.
Oh my god, it's a 3.
I rolled an 8.
Can he re-roll?
No, not on this.
Okay.
That's fair.
Fair.
Probably
As you
deserves a punch.
try to brace, as you try to catch Rashon's fist, it is too furiously fast as she clocks you across the jaw, and you feel her fist come into contact with your cheekbone and just push your cheekbone and your nose at the same time out of the way.
This was too fast.
As you
too
take
furious.
3 points of damage.
Too fist, too furious.
She starts to curse at you in Elven. You fool! What did she do to the tree?
We tried to stop her.
I don't understand what she's saying.
Oh.
I think she's talking Elven.
She was at first.
Oh,
She
okay.
was saying a lot of
Oh,
Elven
okay.
explicatives that only Yaskier could hear.
Oh.
None of them good.
We
I'm not
tried.
even going to translate. It would just make you feel bad about yourself.
We tried to stop her.
You tried to stop her. You told her she knew what she was doing, so she killed it. She killed it.
What do you mean she killed it?
She killed the great tree. One of the last elder beings of the elves. What did you say to make her do such a thing? What did you do?
She was going to do this anyway. If you'd shown up at dawn, this is what she would have done to defend the tree.
Then I would have died with honor trying to get it back. But now...
No, you would have been eaten by this griffin, and you wouldn't have Geralt of Rivia and his companions helping you.
She takes the blood from her eyes and puts it on your face, Geralt. And she just pushes it. She pushes her hand in your face. This is help. This tree is killing us now. We are connected to it.
She used some kind of, I'm yelling from the window. She used some kind of potion. I don't know, maybe you can try and reverse it before it's too late.
I think she used the tree's power to res this griffin, and if we get rid of this griffin, perhaps we can heal this tree and help you.
Right now it's drawing power from the tree, yes?
And from all of you.
This tree is dying. She has already started to poison it, but maybe you're right. Maybe there is a way to stop it. I will try and stop it if you will try to stop this griffin.
We will join you. Let's destroy this griffin.
I'm gonna look for stuff in her room to see if...
Still trying to get that
Actually,
book.
yes.
Just trying to get the
Oh yeah,
drawer
you just
open.
opened the doors and you were yelling
Yeah,
out.
yelling out the window, because what else am I gonna do? Guys,
Did you figure out what's in the box?
I haven't time to
Destroy.
Siri, you look up
Be
and
right back.
you sense this feeling in the pit of your stomach that your magic is slowly wearing off. As you see this griffin's movements kind of start to catch up slower and slower as it becomes and returns to regular speed. As it now sees all of these enemies cornering it, you see its wings start to flare up in defense and its tail start to rise like an animal pinned in the back of a cage. As you see its large black claws gripping onto the tree, breaking more and more of the leaves as they shatter and crumble into this green magical dust and dust away with the wind. As this griffin lets out a horrible roar and screech that shakes the armaments on you. It is time. Geralt, what would you like to do?
I'm going to use Ard to push the griffin. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna use Ard to push the griffin off.
How many vigor points do you have?
None.
Wonderful. How many vigor points would you like to use?
1.
Okay, so they'll take a -5 to your health and roll me a d10 plus your spell
This
casting.
one's not been nice to you and taking it away.
I need to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, try this one. It's been nice. Watch it be terrible because I said that.
It was terrible.
Do we have any rerolls?
We have 8 rerolls.
I'll use a reroll.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It was on a 0. It's an 8. Plus, what was it?
Your spell casting.
15.
A 15 will hit.
Okay. Do I roll 2 or 1d6 or?
How many vigor points did you use?
Just 1.
Then you will roll 1d6. What are you trying to do with this Ard? Just
Just to push it off the tree.
push it off the tree.
It's a 6.
With a 6, yes, using every kind of searching yourself for this magical essence, you are feeling very defeated from the day.
Yep.
Within the same day, you have fought a werewolf.
Yep.
You have fought some ghouls.
Yep.
You have fought some endraga.
Yep, Scoia'tael as well.
Scoia'tael as well. Taken an injury. But you are Geralt of Rivia, the last great witcher of the continent. And with that, you hear Vasimir's voice almost cheering you on, telling you to get up, buck up. You need to take down this griffin. As you focus your energy and you cast Ard. And with the last bit of like this, you feel this force coming out of you as you feel the pale, your already pale human-like face turns even more pale as more blood starts to leave it, as your life force is taken out of you and pushed into this magic. Your focus, your Ard, and you push this griffin out of this tree. This griffin, luckily enough of your magic, pushes this griffin into the air, and its wings fly out for a second. It catches itself before landing on top of Ulna's house and sitting on the roof. Now looking down at you all.
I owe you for that, old man. I owe you a beer.
It's now the griffin's turn. The griffin looks down as all these Scoia'tael. I would say there's about... You see across you, creating this horseshoe, there are 42 Scoia'tael agents that have made their way into this square. This griffin looks over at the rightmost roof where about 10 to 11 Scoia'tael stand. Ooh. And it takes off from this roof. It soars over, and you see its two claws kind of come out as it uses its claws to not only push the remaining Scoia'tael off this roof, but its claws grab it, and you see these Scoia'tael getting ripped to shreds by these griffin's claws as they're thrown up into the air. These elven bodies are just flying through the air as the other ones are pushed off the roof, and you hear them thud, 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 almost raining on the ground behind the building as this griffin screeches, and you see, right before it lands, it tears this one Scoia'tael agent, gripping its head with one claw and its legs with the other, and pulls it apart and just sits. The Scoia'tael are now down to 31.
Okay.
Marilka, it is now your turn.
I
You are
opened this
upstairs.
box. I'm trying to find the lockbox and open it.
That box is a Loctite.
I would like to pick the lock then, please.
Wonderful. Please pick this lock with your lock-picking skills.
Hey, it explodes. So, and then I have an extra +3, so that's 20 plus 27.
With a 27, you are able to, yes, despite the stress, and you hear this large thud on the roof above you as this brass chandelier in Ulna's room starts to sway underneath like the shaking of this house from the griffin's weight. You are able to open this box, and inside you find a tiny vial.
What's in it?
You don't know.
Okay. I run outside.
You safely tuck this vial into your clothing as you then dash outside. Siri, it is now your turn.
Oh no. All right. Where is the griffin relative to me?
Where were you last? Were you close to the alder house, or?
We ran out, the three of us together initially, and I don't think I've moved from that spot.
I will say now the griffin is on, if you're standing outside the alder house, the griffin is now on the right set of roofs, the set of the roofs to your right.
So it's not like I could stab it.
Nope, it's taking a high vantage point. It's a griffin.
Right?
A royal one at that.
All right. I am going to use... Could I throw my sword at it? I've been watching Geralt long enough.
You could try.
I'd like to try and throw my dagger.
Throw your dagger.
Yeah, I want to try and throw my dagger into its throat. I'm keeping my sword. It's all I've got.
All right. I'm going to need you to roll me. I'm going to say your athletics, and if you don't have athletics, it's straight dexterity. Because you're trying to throw a dagger, at a large griffin on the top of a 2-story roof.
I see the complexity of the matter. Oh, that explodes. All right, that is 18. She's
learning.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 to hit.
26 hits.
Oh. Wow.
Okay.
Roll me your
so
dagger's damage.
My dagger's damage is just 1d6.
Look at you,
3.
Siri.
A 3.
3.
Wow.
Siri, somehow you are able to, I guess, because you've been dealing so much with it, a heavier sword, the lightness of the dagger is refreshing and catches your strength off guard, as you're able to, yes, just throw it and chuck it at this griffin with impeccable aim that somehow lands, and you pierce the right wing of this griffin. You hear this griffin screech out in pain as it takes 3 points of damage.
Wow.
And as this griffin turns and now focuses on you, and you will be its next target on its next turn.
Okay, here we are.
Yennefer, it is now your turn.
This griffin. I will just call upon everybody to focus fire upon this griffin, obviously, and I will shoot some lightning at it.
Get it.
I'm gonna use 1 vigor.
1 vigor, all right.
So, and then it's
Your spellcasting, yes.
How many rerolls do we have?
What did you remember? If you rolled a 1,
It wasn't
not
a
a
1.
one.
No.
Okay.
I remember vividly.
we have 10 rerolls.
I'll use a reroll. All right, well,
You have one more if you want.
let's use another reroll. Yeah.
All right.
Get it.
Stop sucking. Hey,
Better.
That's better. All right, so 18. Does willpower go into this at all? No.
Yes, you can add your willpower plus 3 to it. Yes.
So it'll be a 21. Yeah, 21.
a 21 hits.
Okay. All right, and let's see the damage. 5.
With a 5, yes. You, Yennefer, once again, you kind of almost having this residual lightning from within you from the lightning storm earlier. These low-hanging clouds, the moon is slightly shining through them as they gently pass over the night sky, allowing you to see some stars here and there. Not as many clouds as there were earlier in the day during this rainstorm, but these clouds almost seem to come towards you and beckon towards you as this bolt of lightning is shot down into your right arm, and you raise your left arm and you fire this bolt of lightning at the griffin on the roof. The griffin flies back as this lightning pierces it right in its royal chest, and you send it stumbling backwards, and you hear the cluttering and clamoring as this griffin falls through the thatched roof of the home behind it. You hear the screams of people inside and the breaking of pots and glass as you hear this griffin slowly start to climb out of the house behind it, the shed, I should say, behind this home.
We need somebody to get these people out of this town. They are going to die.
Yeah, Skier, it's your turn.
Perfect person.
Speaking of,
So have I made it down into the cellar of Ulna's house at this
Oh,
point?
did you go back down? Did you want to go
Yeah.
back in? I
Okay.
will say, yeah, you make your way into the cellar.
All right, so I've got a lamp, and I'm looking around in this cellar for Corvo's body, weird ritual stuff. I don't know. What do I see in this cellar?
You simply see... You see a shrine. You see almost this beautiful hand drawing of this young boy who looks about the age of 14, a very, very young boy, and you see these feathers, they look very similar to the griffin's feathers outside, almost in the circle around this photo or this image, this drawn image, and these candles are lit around it as well.
Oh, I'm just gonna kick it all over. Just mess it all up.
You do that and nothing happens.
I am briefly disappointed and then run back upstairs.
Would you like to search for anything else down there?
I mean, is there anything else visible?
As you kick down the shrine, you notice that there was a drawer on this tiny nightstand where this shrine was being held. As you open the drawer, you pull out a simple flute.
All right. I know how to play that.
You take your flute, you take the flute, and you run back upstairs.
need to control it somehow.
It is now the Scoia'tael's turn. The Scoia'tael on the left roof, well, they were going to prepare an attack, but now that the griffin is nowhere in sight, they simply wait. Instead, you see that the Scoia'tael, about 9 of the Scoia'tael foot soldiers that are on the ground brandishing blades, swords, hidden blades, daggers, and axes, run towards the home where the griffin fell in. You hear the screams of Scoia'tael as this griffin roars and suddenly flies out of this home as 3 Scoia'tael agents slowly stagger their way back and join the rest of their brethren. There are 26 Scoia'tael left. As this griffin now, you see it start to fly in the air, but its wing has been injured from a dagger wound as it slowly starts to rest on the rightmost roof again, crawling closer and closer to the edge and preparing to attack Ciri. Geralt, it is your turn.
What has Rashon been doing?
Funny you should ask. Rashon has been sitting at the base of this tree. You see her hands are on it and she's muttering things and she's trying all that she can, but the gray veins of this tree continue to creep up and rise, and you see that these gray veins are now encapsulating the branches of these trees as this tree has almost no green leaves left and is almost completely this kind of muddied gray-brown.
And where's this griffin at from me?
This griffin, I will say it's technically, because you just, let's see, where you were, it's technically on your left, but it's on Ciri's right, so you're kind of facing the griffin this way, Ciri's facing the griffin this way, and it's on the roof up here.
I will go over to Ciri and try to put myself in front of, to protect her from the griffin. And Ciri, I don't think in this condition I can fight this thing fully, but I'm gonna need you to heal me somehow. You're good at healing, I saw from the past.
Kind.
I believe you can do it.
Can I use this opportunity, even though it's his turn, to try and do anything to tend to his wounds?
Are you giving your turn to Ciri?
Yeah.
Then yes, you can try in your first aid to try and heal his wounds.
All right.
Roll me your first aid.
That is a 15.
With a 15, Geralt, you get to roll 1d6 and add your recovery to it.
It's 11.
Ciri, describe how you aid Geralt.
Where are his wounds?
The most recent wound that has been patched up has been right here in his shoulder.
All right, I'm going to follow a piece from Yaskir, and I'm going to tear off a piece of my blue cloak, and I'm going to wrap around his shoulder and tie it as tight as I can, and wince a little bit at the blood because I know it hurts.
This would do.
I hope it helps.
It helps greatly, thank you. Now to this griffin.
It is now the griffin's turn. Geralt, you are protecting Ciri. You are now the griffin's target. This griffin, you see it readying itself on its back legs, its shoulders slowly raising or lowering to the ground as its claws begin to almost make biscuits out of the roof it's on top of.
Oh, cute.
What do you want to do?
Oh, it's not going to attack.
It's going to attack you. Yes, it's readying an attack.
Danger beam.
It's getting ready to pounce.
I mean, I can't attack it. Because
You could try to counter, but you are trying to protect Ciri at the same time.
I want to counter it, but to be able to counter it to where I would jump on its back and sort of ride it.
This is going to have to be a very
How many
impressive
rerolls we have
roll.
before?
We have 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You want to ride a griffin, Geralt.
Yep.
You're allowed to crash it.
Yes.
I highly recommend that you crash it.
Encouraged to
Yes.
crash it.
Since dodging and riding are in the same category, I'm going to ask you to roll me your riding.
Oh, I can't just dodge me.
No.
This is not what you're doing.
Can you add 3?
I don't really want to reroll. How many rerolls can I use?
You can use up to you can use 3.
Okay, I'll use my first one.
All right.
Oh my god. It's the
Do it.
first one.
Oh, yeah, switch.
Reroll again.
Yes! So it's
Explode.
exploding.
Yes.
It's a 16 plus. It's a 20.
Geralt of Rivia. As this griffin pounces towards you and shoots its wings, it's like it pushes its arms back and starts to dive towards you, readying its claws to rip you to shreds. In a Witcher-esque maneuver not seen by Witchers for millennia, perhaps by the School of the Griffin that no longer exists anymore, you are able to push Ciri out of the way while simultaneously you see the trajectory of this griffin. You're able to grab onto one of the wings of the griffin as you throw yourself up into the air and land on this griffin's back. You have to steady yourself for a moment, but then you dig your hands into these griffin's feathers, and now you are riding on top of this griffin. Whether this griffin will let you ride it, we will see. But now, Ciri, you see as you are pushed out of the way, Geralt of Rivia has just tumbled himself onto a griffin.
Oh my god.
As all this other Scoia'tael simply stare in awe as you see their bows drop momentarily, like amazed and dazzled yet horrified at the same time.
All right, so if he just jumped onto it, it must be rather close.
It's close to you now. Yes, now it is on the ground. It is standing on the ground.
I'm gonna try and go for like the weak throat under portion with my steel sword.
It is Marilka's turn first. With
Oh, okay,
Marilka's
take my turn.
She said my name and she
Princess.
looked at me.
Can I take my turn to look at the vial that I got? And see if I know what it is.
Roll me your alchemy.
Okay, is that an intelligence?
It is
based?
intelligence.
Yes. I'm gonna take a reroll just to be safe. I'm gonna do another one just because why shouldn't I? That's better. So alchemy is plus 17. Yes.
With a 17, as you look at it closer and closer, you notice that this is a vial of blood. It is not human blood. It is not elven blood. It is some kind of other blood. Something older than you can ever imagine.
Rashon.
Marilka, you just run outside with it.
Yeah.
You dash outside and you see Rashon at the base of the tree.
Will this help? It's special blood.
Possibly. Where did you find this?
In a locked drawer in her bedroom. Or study or whatever, wherever the heck I was.
It might stop from killing it entirely.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna shoot a griffin. Is he riding a griffin?
You now see, this Geralt of Rivia is now riding a griffin.
Geralt riding a griffin?
Yes.
Ciri, it is now your turn.
All right, now I'm gonna go try and go up with my steel sword and stab it, while holding on to it and not leaving it in the griffin. Never again.
Roll me your swordsmanship.
One time and one time only. I don't have swordsmanship, by the way, so what do I use?
Yes, it is your straight. Straight reflex.
All right, if that is a 16.
Not good enough.
I'm gonna try a reroll. Okay. Likelihood of it getting higher than this is very low. Nope, I'm gonna do one more.
All right.
Oh no.
No.
As you lunge your sword into the air, trying to pierce this griffin in the throat at the back of the head, this griffin is now thrashing now that Geralt is on top of it. So this royal griffin's head is just back and forth thrashing as soon as it almost perfectly smacks the flat end of your blade and your wrists attached to it, and you're sent flying backwards into the side of the building where you're standing next to.
Guess that's all.
Careful.
Yennefer, it is now your
I'm
turn.
trying.
Well, Geralt's on this griffin now, so I can't really shoot lightning at it if I don't want to hurt him as well.
Yeah, I also
is
couldn't
now
use
a
magic
casualty,
because of
yeah.
that.
Okay.
That would be quite unfriendly, Fire.
Yes. Oh my God, what do? Is there any way to like magically convince nearby Scoia'tael soldiers to shoot arrows for me?
What makes
Like,
you
control
think
them.
they're better with their arrows than you are with your lightning?
I mean,
At least the arrows will thud into the.
they're
towards
going.
the belly.
They're going to shoot at the griffin regardless.
Okay.
They don't care that Geralt's on it.
I don't want them. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want Geralt to get hurt, so I want to kind of convince them and like force them to just shoot towards the belly of the.
And not
griffin.
just at the griffin blindly.
Yeah, not blindly.
I'm going to say you're going to use this mental manipulation once again.
Yes.
How many vigor points would you like to spend?
Let's spend 2.
All right. How many vigor points do you have left?
2.
All right. Roll me your willpower.
Right. So willpower.
Nice.
Ooh, it explodes. Willpower is 10. So wait. All right, 10, and then +3 with the +3.
So you're at 23,
Oh, that's another 10.
33,
33. Does that explode again? We keep
Yep.
going.
Yep. Oh!
43.
43.
45. That's the highest roll of the night so far.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you.
New
Wow.
leaderboard.
So that's
Highest roll of the game.
Wow. So 43 plus 45.
With a 45, yes, you do convince these Scoia'tael. roll me 2d6 to see how powerful your convincing is.
All right. That is a 9.
With a 9, you see these Scoia'tael agents standing on the leftmost roofs. As you're able to yell at them, what do you say as you cast this kind of convincing spell?
Fire at the griffin's belly now.
You cast a spell on them, and you see that their aim, that was just kind of blindly towards this griffin, aiming at the top of it, since that was their better angle. Even though Geralt's on the top, you now see them start to lower onto their knees as they aim now for the legs and the underbelly of this griffin, and that's where they will aim when they take their turn. Yes, dear, it is now your turn.
Can I approach the griffin that has Geralt on it quietly, calmly, and I'm trying to play kind of like a lullaby or something on this flute that I found in this creepy drawer? Go to sleep, ugly griffin. Please don't kill my friend.
Roll me your performance.
Right. I'm gonna. If it's a 1, I can't re-roll it, can I?
It's
not
a
magic.
spell.
It's not a
It's
spell.
not a spell. Right. I'm gonna re-roll that. That's a 1. All right. That's better. So that's 7 plus 10, 17.
As you begin to play this melody, this soft lullaby on this flute, at first you kind of improvise it, and you're just almost nerves start to take over you, and the griffin starts to thrash Geralt even harder. Geralt, you feel yourself being slammed up against a wall as this griffin tries to get you off its back.
Calm this damn beast
But then,
down.
Yaskier, you slowly start to focus on a tune as you begin to play this soft, melancholy lullaby. As this griffin's thrashing slowly begins to wind down, and its head stops, and almost in a trance, it walks towards you, and its face comes right up to where the flute is playing, and you look into its eyes, and you see these incredibly human eyes behind this griffin as it closes them and simply lays at your feet.
Well. Nice one.
It's now the Scoia'tael's turn. These Scoia'tael agents, as soon as you have lulled this griffin onto the ground peacefully, almost in an instant, the remaining, the 12 ground soldiers, the 12 ground soldiers of the Scoia'tael come charging at this griffin with axes and swords and daggers and hidden blades. And the 14 archers on the roof do their best to aim towards the haunch, the hind of the griffin, and not at Geralt. As suddenly, Geralt, you feel this griffin start to lurch and just whine underneath you as you feel the impact of all these arrows piercing into this griffin's backside as the Scoia'tael agents charge, and like their faces even more pale as this blood continues just to pour out of their eyes. All these Scoia'tael agents, you now notice that their eyes are just filled with blood. You can no longer see the whites of their eyes. It's simply this blood has filled their eyes as they take their weapons and start chopping and hacking at this griffin as this griffin lays on the ground. And in a moment, you keep playing this tune, Jaskier. And in its pain, it looks at you. And then you see the light in its eyes go out as this griffin passes. As Scoia'tael agents hack off the claws and the tail, chopping off legs, chopping off the thighs, piercing this thing, ripping the body off of this griffin, decimating it, Geralt, while you're on it.
Oh, I would. Now I'm going to get off.
Now you're climbing off,
yeah.
yes.
Can I give Geralt a hand so he can get off of the griffin?
As you see the life pass from this griffin's eyes, you give Geralt your hand as he steps down.
Thank you, Jaskier.
That was very disturbing.
How did you know playing that flute?
Just a guess. I mean, I saw Corvo come out of the cellar.
You saw Corvo come out the cellar.
That's Corvo. Didn't you see his eyes?
That makes sense now.
And then, Geralt, it suddenly comes to you. You remember Jaskier telling you a tale when you were younger.
I knew Jaskier when I was younger.
Oops, apologies.
I know this.
Apologies.
I
Doesn't
understand. I understand that I have overshadowed every bard you have encountered since, but this was not me.
At first, Jaskier appears in your mind, but then the visage passes, and you see Vesemir. And this you remember a time where Vesemir sat you down by a fire after your first kill of a griffin together, while you were a young witcher in training post-transformation. There are people out there, Geralt, who try to do things, who try to meddle with magic and man. The same people who've tried to make witches, try to make other things. There's people out there who believe that magic can do whatever they will it to.
Oh, like what?
Like preserve the soul of a person in the body of a beast.
Any beast?
Well, there has to be a link, and there has to be special circumstances and a ritual and a cost. Of course, every magic, as you know, comes at a cost. But I have heard rumors that there is a witcher out there trapped in the body of a beast.
You trained this witcher?
I knew of him, and I pray to all the gods out there that this is not true.
Why didn't you stop it from happening? I mean, you are Vesemir. You're a bit old, but you are, best witcher out there for now.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Geralt, but there are some things that you must know that witchers don't get involved with the issues of others. We stick to our code. We stick to the coin. We slay monsters. And that is what we do. We cannot all be bringers of good and heroes. There are soldiers and wars and kings who believe in that. No, we simply believe in the practicality. Where there is coin, we do a job. And for all I know, this is a rumor that I pray is not true. As we cut back to the present, the 5 of you standing there, looking at the dead griffin.
Is the tree? Did we stop the tree from
We should check on
being?
Rashon.
Oh shit.
You see these 2 elves, the same mages that healed you earlier, chatting with Rashon in hushed tones in Elven, nodding, and you see them both kind of exhale, and they both put hands on her shoulders as they walk off. Rashon slowly stands up, and you see that too, her eyes are filled with blood. I believe there is a way to save this tree.
How?
A sacrifice, a death was made to poison it. And now a sacrificial death must be made to cure.
You're gonna sacrifice yourself? That's what you wish?
You suddenly feel all the Scoia'tael, all the remaining living Scoia'tael surround you. No. I cannot save this tree with my blood alone. With this, though, we all can make sure that our spirits remain with this great tree.
All of you?
We are all dying anyways. Whatever Ulna did poisoned us, as we are connected to this tree. This tree. I dare not speak her name. She was one of the elven gods who made herself present on the continent after the conclave. A goddess of protection who gave her life as a tree to provide shade and nurture and protect this land and her children. I blame myself for not protecting her better in return. Maybe you're right. Maybe had we been able to talk this out, or if there wasn't a war, this story could have ended differently. As you see Rashon take the vial into her mouth, as you see her eyes no longer are black, or red, red with blood, but you see them almost completely white out into this soft white glow. As all the other Scoia'tael come and put their hands on the tree. As she put both of her hands on the tree as well, they all close their eyes and kneel. And then you hear the softest, most somber elven song whispered under the breath of 27 souls passing their life, passing on. As one by one the Scoia'tael slowly fall and fade into a soft slumber, Rashon is the last one. She takes a step forward. You see her, she gets to her feet. And then you see her hand go through the tree. As she takes a step forward, she turns to you all and just nods. As you see Rashon disappear into the tree. And for a moment there is nothing. And then slowly you see this grayish, brownish hue that has infected this tree start to dissipate from the limbs to the branches as this horrible poison starts to leave the great tree. And as it stands, you see these leaves start to bud and grow. This time no longer green, but a soft turquoise, the color of Rashon's eyes. As the great tree slowly begins to heal in the decimation of Darkney around you.
Well, that was unfortunate, but I feel it was needed to be done.
Such loss.
This has been a day.
I'm gonna go check on Letty.
Where did you leave Letty?
Wait, where's Letty?
She is a very deep sleeper. I don't think you really need to worry, but I am gonna go find her.
What? Fine.
Find out what
The five of you like to go?
See where Letty is?
I figure we should all go together.
Okay.
As the five of you start to leave the town of Darkney,
I thought she's upstairs.
No, he
left her in the woods.
Oh, okay.
No, it was a stable near the south gate. All right, I wouldn't leave her in the woods.
as the five of you start to leave the town of Darkney, you start to see the soft light of the sun budding over the horizon. As this dark night sky starts to turn a soft blue as the dawn of a new day comes for Darkney. The five of you reach the stables and you see Letty finally waking up from her slumber.
Glad that she missed it all.
Hi there, sweetie. Do you remember anything that has happened in the past, say, 8 hours?
I was at home and
Good. So we're going to take you to go visit a friend of ours in the town who is a healer and is basically your new mom.
a new mom.
Yeah. She's very nice.
Can't just put a child on. Whatever.
What about the potato
Well,
lady?
do you want to bring her along? Are we collecting little girls? Is that what we do?
I may actually know
Hey.
someone.
We're gonna go to get a nice cup of tea with this lovely lady we all know, and she's over this way. So let's
I don't know
let's
about
just
the herbalist, but I don't know about the herbalist.
and then we'll go from there, Geralt.
Wait, do you not trust the herbalist?
I don't know. I have a weird feeling about that herbalist.
Really?
Really?
I trusted her, and I think she's quite representative of this town. I mean, she's part elven and part human, so I mean,
Fine.
I think
Geralt, let's
she's
just
kind of neutral, really, in the whole thing.
She's fine. She's fine.
What are we gonna do with this
I
5-year-old?
don't think there's much to be neutral on anymore.
We need to go in there, and we need to bring some sort of resolution to this tragedy.
The
What do
five
we
of
do?
you take Letty to the herbalist. As you knock on their door, a familiar face in bedclothes with their glasses on the tip of their nose answers. And Nearest, seeing the child, beckons them in. Knowing what has happened, Nearest looks outside and sees the destruction of Darkney. And almost without any communication at all, somberly nods as they close the door and hurry and just take Letty in and begin to make breakfast.
That was easy.
The five of you make your way out of Darkney. As you begin to walk away from the town on the road, you see these travelers coming towards you. A traveling merchant. He's on a nice horse with a carriage behind him. As he passes you, he smiles and he seems surprised as he points in behind you. Oh, I didn't know there was a town back there. Or on my maps, it seemed there was nothing in this area. It looks like a pretty big town. Do they need vendors?
I'm pretty sure they can use some.
I think so.
Wonderful.
Want to make money and go there.
I'll go to. Do you have have that town's name? I've never seen it before.
It is called Darkney.
Darkney. Thank you. As this merchant rides into town, you notice for the first time that Darkney is now visible. While the tree has been preserved, its magical abilities have been tapped in saving itself. Darkney is now visible on all maps, can be found by all folk, and is in direct line of Nilfgaard's pillage.
If they can see the town, we just left all of them to die.
We need
Yeah.
to do something.
Then what was the point of us coming here and stopping them from fighting?
Either way, they were going to fight. Ulna was going to summon her brother and just cause destruction inevitably.
I know, but I guess we didn't have to be a part of it.
Well, you don't really get a choice if you're part of it or not. That's just destiny. That's just life. It just comes at you.
We spared many of the lives of the innocent.
For now.
They
Until
love
Nilfgaard comes.
They live longer than, today. So
That's all you really can do, I think, in the moment. I think this is a win for us.
Perhaps we can send somebody we trust over there to help rebuild and restructure the place. Keep it safe.
Feels like we.
That is not. I have no idea. It's more of a detour of what my main goal was, or is. I do need to do something before we head off. That child, werewolf, that was killed,
Yes.
wasn't properly buried. I do wish to bury the child.
I'll go with you.
I'll help.
Let us go.
I'm fine if everyone else is going. I don't want to be alone, so I'll go as well.
The five of you turn back. We cut to the burial of Horus as you properly bury him in a somber grave near his family home. Geralt, you then turn to Marilka and ask her again the question you wanted to ask her earlier.
So, is this the life you want?
Yeah. I helped today.
I know. You did well. All of you did well. Alright, well, seems you have a buddy. Oh boy. Well,
Don't look at me like that. I'm not gonna be friends.
It's good to have a buddy. Just ask Geralt. I'm the buddy.
I'm gonna hug Marilka.
Yennefer, I don't know where you are going to be heading to. And it was nice to be with you again. Granted, we haven't spent much time together. Unless...
There's been a lot going on. I was going away. I was searching for a seer of sorts, but never mind that. I would love to prolong this adventure, if possible. Perhaps with less griffins and werewolves and tragedies. That would be preferable.
Have you met us?
Well, it would be nice to stay in Darkney one last night to make sure they're all safe and sound before we head
We
off.
cannot leave them like that. We cannot.
Get some rest, food.
We need to tell at least one person the truth.
They need to know that
Probably.
it is not protected anymore
Yeah.
by some magical veil. We need to have somebody we trust. I'll reach out to my diplomatic friends, install some sort of calm, but awareness, and also open-mindedness. No more Scoia'tael versus humans and dwarves. We need them to get over that and try to exist.
Yes. Maybe Yaska could sing a song to them.
That worked out so well when we got to Darkney.
Yeah, I know.
remember.
Worked pretty well on the griffin.
That's true.
My music did soothe the savage beast, it is true.
Yennefer,
Yes.
I know that Darkney's not a very large town, but where I come from, our towns all have their own mage, and if Ulna was the mage of this town, is there a way to send another to protect them?
Absolutely, actually. I'll reach out to another mage. One that's not easily corrupted by grief or power. I know a handful. They're far and few between, but that's a good idea.
Good. For now, go head back to Darkney and relax for a minute.
I'd like to sleep.
Yes.
Let's rest.
I
you
could
take
use
a bath?
drink.
I'd love to take a bath.
I
Or
need some
12.
wine.
Yennefer, would you like to join me?
I'm a little bit dirty.
Why would you say? Okay.
We can hear
We're
you.
right here. I'll get the
We
wine.
need to clean. I don't
They're just going to
understand.
play backgammon. It's just going to be table and parlor
Let's
games.
discuss this
As the
elsewhere.
five of you make your way back to Darkney's central town, back to the Maid's Burden, where you can finally, after the longest day of your lives, rest, eat, bathe, and try to pick up the pieces from the glass and the brokenness that has happened in this town. The five of you, as you make your way back, you continue onward, down the crooked path of life, onto what will be your next adventure. On the journey of life, there is no simple, straight path. It is a twisted road, gnarled by the choices you've made, paved by your own hands. You all continue as you make your way into town, resting, recuperating, trying to rebuild what unfortunately has been broken in front of you, until the next adventure of your destiny calls you. For now, we end this chapter of The Witcher RPG. Thank you all so much for joining us. That's it. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone who's been here for all 4 episodes of our 4-part Witcher RPG. I had so much fun creating the story and playing with our amazing cast here. Oh my goodness. A round of applause to you all. Wowie, wowie, wowie. You are all amazing. I hope you enjoyed this journey and this story as much as I did. And of course, thank you to everyone who made tonight's show possible. We did pass our goal, which means not only are we giving a signed copy of the 2nd edition of the Witcher RPG rulebook, we will also be giving away in the chat the chance to name an NPC in world, of course, in the next Witcher RPG installment adventure in the book. Ooh, yes, in the next subset. So yes, let's go ahead and thank everyone who made tonight's show possible. Hawk RMB, Peak 1, Mel Pamino, Sir Carl Ethan, Shane R, Negi Hama, J Pistol, EE Bert 3, Peak 1, Uberbaldi, Elliot in 8-bit, Little Mouse That Jumps, EE Bert 3, Dan Bowski Lesvin, Shadow Uzumaki, J Pistol, Winston EXE, Huck, Peter Griffon, Aridinsk, EE Bert 3, J Pistol, For the Goal, The T-Boyce, and Arsenal Roy 2K. Thank you all so much for making tonight's show possible. And yes, be sure to get active in the chat for not only that Witcher RPG giveaway, but also the NPC naming giveaway. You all are amazing, and we're so lucky to have this opportunity. Thank you so much to our Talasaurian Games for not only supporting the show and encouraging the show, but also giving away all the books we're giving away and the chance to name an NPC in their module. That is so amazing. You all are amazing, and I'm really nice to know that they really enjoyed this little series. Yes. Well, thank you all again. Let's go around the table really quick. And where can people find you?
Hi guys, I am Kaylee Bray. You can find me on Twitter at HoppaBarbarian.
Hi, I'm Adriosa. You can find me on Twitter at Adriosa Gaming or on Twitch at twitch.tv Adriosa.
Hey, I'm Alquin Gersh, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter as Different Elves.
Hey, I'm Naeem. You can find me on Twitter at Naeem B. Stewart, on Instagram, Naeem B. Stewart, here tomorrow, every Thursday for Warhammer, Grimdark Dawn, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Sage Ryan, and you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at NotSage.
And I'm your GMly, Emily Rose Jacobson. You can find me at frankly_Emily on Twitter and with an extra underscore on Instagram. And be sure to keep watching Hyper RPG all this week. We've got Warhammer 40k Grim Dark Dawn tomorrow. Are we playing Magic on Friday? Hell yeah, we're playing Magic on Friday. We've got a Kolak 1991 on Monday, a D&DW on Tuesday, and I'm excited to hear what will be happening next Wednesday. Perhaps this will not be the end of the Witcher RPG for good. Perhaps there is a future chapter of this Witcher RPG somewhere off in the distance. I can't see it right now, but thank you to all of you for your amazing support. You helped to make tonight's show possible. You helped make everything at Hyper RPG possible. This was such an honor and a gift telling this story with you all. And until next time, keep adventuring, my Witchers, and be sure to survive. Goodbye.